1, 2, 1, 2. T.O.M. Teachers of Ahati. Who am I? Today the scribe, been forever, but the name changes with the times. I come from a place where space is home. I go into realms where your face is gone. A change gon' come. As a teen, hypnotized deep in a sleep, party and slumber. 11 life path number, a life of death that's rebirth. Recall realities to re-emerge. Soul purge, I'll lend you frequency like loan words. Before I teach, I'll spit a poem first. Step on stage, set the stage, car walking, set ablaze, divine fire. The body is divine attire, sewn from words. Sound frequency, awakening dreams. Don't pinch me every day I wake up, it's a home birth. Start from zero to become the heroes. Cycles of time causes expansion of mind. Potential is exponential. Gain XP, what your power made of. I've had to face self, face to fate, a double fate. What will I make of the present? I'm just trying to pet heaven. Twice great, 2 arms up is none to wave. It's nothing to wave. God separate the waters from the waters. Genesis 1 and 6. See, that source is thousands of years prior to a Bible even existing. It's called the pet word for heaven. Watchers of noon, primordial, pre-ordered, bringing order in order. Its law the scales will represent. A double gift, re-present, Ray is present. Ra, amen to the God inside. The crown will glow as consciousness grows. So what assignment are you on? I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. Serpent mind winding in alignment. Straight from Orion, the origins. Dig into the root camp originals, the oracle speaking. Your aura is gleaming. The sons of God, Amen Ra. Who can't afford a reason to fall below your own means, meaning reaching beyond the firmament ceiling. I see linguistics tricking us deep into sleeping. The way we live inception, I must be dreaming. Doubles, double L, square root, mirrors, reverse the image. My grip was slipping. Almost forgot the point of the mission. Statements point out all the contradictions. Blatant truth lives where my eye is foundation. Yeah, co-founded a nation. Dictionary study spells can be scary. Etymology, this here is completion. Cycle circles, dualism, wisdom. I peddle flowers. 2 eyes are watching to see through the double realm I'm healing. Never out of what's within him. Infinite reasons, just like my brother Arcad. Always remain calm against demons. Death culture, to be alive here, it's a lie here. They crossed us into thinking that death isn't living. The lies are falling through my palms, arm wide, holes in my hand. The Pope's in command, I demand the throne back. Ancient teachings, I'm a throwback. Picture that, see this moment here is cold that. So black, I see through lies. Why they hold that, ocean motions. I'm flowing through noon in the boats of consciousness. My tongue is rolling, planting seeds, sowing, knee of speaking, untangled quantum DNA, spitting frequencies. I hear Christians scream hallelujah, and this ain't that the name of God is God. I must bring the order back, the scales are tipping. In the court of Allah, moonshine to Houthi is Yah. This here is Patah, bulldozing, the one chosen. Focus, when the light hits you, just open like lotus. Melt your mind when in mind time is frozen. Blow minds, my mind is golden. Coat me in gold, I've got a gold coat round me like I'm T.O.M. Like his, when you spell my name, put 3 lines in. Scribe, presenting the law's findings. Who's he? I'm me, an echo of Tahuti. Yes, I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. We do our best to do our best. on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. I am learning to compartmentalize what I find with my mentals. I could have been labeled mental voices in my head. If I speak to the wrong one, I'll be diagnosed schizophrenic. Creating pollution you can't escape from with Captain Planet. Where's Captain Planet? And it's exactly how they planned it. It's insanity, stayed in a state of sanity. But I'm the scribe, keep a record on the record, I break records. This, that, medu, nature, echo, living, lively, times 3, Trinity. We are not the same, not even similar. Plant the seed, a man receive excellence, adoration, testaments, evaluation, literally. The love is real, yet they be hating. Salutations, I wait to master patience. Acting lackadaisy on your facts, I'm back by conscious beings. I am free, can't lock the wings in. The diction is firm, call me men. A man 3 in 1, erection, protection, firm. Spitting life into who I speak to like sperm. Creation is a womb I earned. The right to fully see it through. The heart as I rise through. Manu, Akut, lost it when I had to find you. I'm through, times 2, dualism, we will align soon. As I meditate in my room, it becomes a space of pure truth aligned with my eyes. Verbiage is time for more than the 2 eyes. I can see the veil underneath that other veil. Focus when I am locked in. I don't need a cell. Tell me you don't see the traps. Tower power over enemies, frozen over hell, reversing spells. Fell from the skies, the body is disguised. If you needed a sign, well this is it. I hope you read between the lines, left, right. After the first step, I write what's left in me. This is destiny, keep on moving, especially if you find blockage. No amount of pushback will stop this. This will get capped in stone, they cannot top this. Pyro, fire, Ba is my attire. Inspire the ones chosen, the ones open, the ones spoken. From times when life was once spoken. Enchantments, Nesu, double tongue in motion. Give, receive, keep moving and move for keeps. Keep it real, keep the master key. I had to master me. Mirror glass shattered in my dreams. I didn't like the image till I realized I am the image of the image. I'm here for keeps, keep your distance. Social gimmicks are stories told within the hieroglyphics. Mystics, just keep on living. We're gifted. Our stories told within the hieroglyphics. A language living, just keep on living. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. Yeah, motivate a nation. Stepping out the spaceship, causing a spaceship. Faced with revealing the spells within this matrix from the Masons. But I'm the architect. Best respect, I can architect. Rule your rulership, I hold the heck. Control my thoughts, still move when the game is paused. We speak heck up, this is the best of Medu Nature, bars like Wi-Fi, we're connected. Always on time, frequency and flow through frequency. I know the power I hold in my throat. Creation, destruction, with every single thing I've spoke. Enter, netter, curt, show your worth. Heal from all the hurt, not a singer, best believe I hold a note. Read between the lines, you're not really lost in that. I hope you find exactly what you are looking for. This is more than words, taught myself to heal myself. I come from the dirt, no time for slacking or bad habits. Sad tactics of bringing mad tragic mental processes that lack passion. Spit fire, black dragon, school of hard knocks, send you backpacking. My eyes, when this appears, it's like magic. The fact is, when it's wartime, we go savage. Shield of armor 720, prevent backstabbing all the fiends of good-hearted beings. They don't suit the role, they lack the fashion. So just keep on moving. Keep on moving.
Pure fire. Hotel. Peace and love, yo. That was super fire.
I thought I was listening to somebody from the back in the day, man.
Oh man, that's excellence, my brother. Welcome to Teachings of My Art Study Guide Sunday, guys. How's my sound? I know y'all can't see me. Here we go. How's my sound, guys?
Sound good.
Scribe, that's fire, my brother. Anyway, welcome to Teachings of My Art Study Guide Sunday. Today's topic is new consciousness. Before we begin, we will do as we do every week with our beautiful affirmation. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Unki and Ma'at. Un-N-S. Nintet or Set and Ma'at. Min Hepapet and Ma'at. Her in Hu Kui. Per Iku. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Hotep, Hotep. Peace and love, everybody.
Hotep.
Scribe, I get a little bit of background music for the introduction. Peace, Menkhu. Peace, Ahati. We got a beautiful show lined up for everybody. Peace and love to everybody in the chat. Peace, Caro. I am Atef Rem Kem Ma'at. I'm the chairman of the organization, or the Techetu. I'm a student of the master teacher, the great Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. I'm the host of this weekly study guide, The Teachings of Ma'at, true-hearted follower of truth based on ancestral artifacts over religious opinion, a lover of my people unconditionally and dedicated to learning the Medu Netta, and a defender of Ma'at. Next, we have the scribe, Ani PTAH Aten Tahuti, is a writer, poet, spoken word artist, audio producer, and engineer, healer, spiritual advisor, consultant, and business creator. He is a master student of the Nutiru, a true follower and protector of Ma'at, a scribe of Tahuti and Ma'at. He studies under the master teacher, Saba Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. For the scribe, quality always outweighs quantity. He enjoys observing reality and incorporating these observations into his writings and creations to assist in awakening of dormant DNA and reversing of negative hypnosis. Next, we have the mighty Menkhu Ra. Menkhu Ra specializes in training and educating youth workers, counselors, and educators about arts, culture, and history. He travels the world to experience how people live, and he shares it with everyone who is interested in learning from the research he has witnessed. Menkhu has a master's degree in entertainment and media business and has been working in the music industry and with nonprofit agencies providing program planning and promoting concerts and community events in the Madison area for over 30 years. During that time, he has facilitated the following innovative after-school programs for the Madison School Community Recreation, including Hip Hop 101, Music Production 101, and MP4 music programs for youth. And next we have the mighty Ahati Maat. The presenter for tonight, Ahati, was taught under the great Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. He is a serious student and teacher of Kemetic culture and history for several years. He has written multiple books, including the textbook called Journey of Your Soul series, essays, and articles. Furthermore, he hosts in-person and online classes, weekly podcasts, and periodically creates documentaries. He also has experience in public speaking and academic debating, and he is also responsible for the creation of this study guide. Welcome everybody to a beautiful class tonight. Peace and love, Angela Gates. Peace and love, Stephen E. Peace and love, Shannon Southard. Peace and love, Eric G. Peace and love, Carol.
All right, Hotel Ma'at, everyone. Peace and love to you, good brothers. Peace and love to everyone in the chat, and peace and love to all the viewers who are watching this after the live stream. So I want to give a couple announcements and do a couple shout outs for some of the support we receive during the week prior to the show, the dedicated ones. So peace and love to all of you. And we'll start with this brother here, Edo Campbell. He sends $5 for support, as he does every single week. So shout out to you, good brother. Peace and love. We truly, truly appreciate your energy and your love for the teachings of Ma'at and for Saba Tahuti. So shout out to you, good brother. All right, next we have another very supportive good brother, Stephen Escalar, Stephen E. He says, I value and I respect the teachings of Ma'at. Peace and love to you, good brother. You all for your support and your consistency, and for actually applying this information and bringing forth and spreading this information to the people around you. So peace and love to you, good brother. Shout out to you. All right. So before we let the great brother Ahati Maat go into his wonderful presentation, I want to bring this up and remind everyone that this coming up Thursday, May 25th at 4 p.m. Pacific time, we will be having another Discord community meeting. So if you are not a part of our Discord, that link is in the bio. You can click that link and it'll take you to our Discord where you can join us. And as you see right there where it's highlighted with the red arrow, it says community meetings. That's where we'll be hosting the actual meeting. So once you're in the Discord, you'll see that we're live right there. We'll go live at this time, and you just click that link right there and come right on in, and let us know your thoughts and things that you would like to see within your own personal community added, and things that we can bring forth through Ma'at. So this is open for everyone, and we look forward to seeing you all there. All right, next we have our Teachings of Ma'at Creativity advertisement segment. Right here is where you can use our platform to advertise your business. We'll give you a minute of our show to advertise your business or advertise your music. If you're an artist, if you're a digital artist, or you create clothing, you have a clothing brand, you want to showcase that, whatever it is that you do, all you have to do is message us at teachingsofmaat.org and let us know that you want to be a part of this, and we'll get you in. Our beautiful merch, Teachings of Ma'at t-shirts, long sleeves, and hoodies. This is very, very beautiful, high quality fabrics. So it's very beautiful. If you want to support the Teachings of Ma'at and wear the Tahuti Podcast logo on your shirt as a sigil, this right here is perfect for you. So just go to teachingsofmaat.org and you'll find everything there. And of course, our social media platform. Follow us on all social medias, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and all those links are also in the description, in the bio right below this video here. So be sure to follow us and spread this live right now to all your social media platforms to allow this to be emanated, as we're supposed to do. And of course, if you appreciate any of the information that is brought forth, our Cash App and our PayPal is also in the description. We'll be posting it throughout the channel. So if you want to support, we'll definitely appreciate you and put you into our newsletter. And we look forward to seeing all the great people who love and support Ma'at and what we bring forth for you all. All right. So with that being said, I'll pass the mic, and make sure you all hit that like button, subscribe to us, hit the notification bell, so you can get notified every single time we go live or when we post a video. So be sure you do that, and make sure you have your notes, your notepad out, and your pens, because we're gonna have a very good feeling. We're gonna go on a great ride tonight. So peace and love to all you good brothers and sisters in the chat. Let's see. Ross Jelly, peace to you. You're new in the chat. Ross, okay. This is a good brother. He says, beautiful people, my people full of power. Yes, sir. Peace and love to you, good brother. This is a great brother right here. Peace and love to all the sisters. And let's get started.
That's a nice background Hey, Sharika, glad you made it. Peace. So, first I want to give some shout outs to the chat room. To Angela Gates, always first on deck, ready for the war. Peace to the chat. We have Stephen E., the great supporter, and the Medunetter manhood that he's coming into with Saba Tahuti. Peace to you. I hope your journey is as successful as mine and even greater than my journey. I really do. Peace to Shannon. Peace to you. Eric G, peace to you. Hope you're enjoying the book, brother, and hope everything at work is going good for you. Peace to Carol, the great goddess of Ani. Hope you're holding up the brothers to check and continuing to give him lights. This is a new name, Rachele. Peace to you all. Peace to you. Glad you can make it. Welcome. I welcome everybody that's new and everybody that's going to come in the future. You've really found a great channel. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification button, because you have never, ever heard ancient Egypt teachings like the ones we have here at the Teachings of Ma'at. So thank you for coming through. Ra's okay. Yes, Ra is okay. Beautiful people, my people full of power. Yes. I'm going to be talking a lot about that tonight too. Ra's okay. Great name. I shout out Sharika. She is a warrior sister too. And I'm glad you can make it, sister. Peace to you. Peace to the brothers on the panel. Peace to Ahati Maat, Tefrem, Menkhu Ra. These brothers do a lot of work behind the scenes, and they definitely have my respect, and they deserve yours. Menkhu Ra actually just did a great teaching, and I'm actually going to use him as an example tonight. You don't have to worry, Menkhu Ra. I'm going to use you as an example because I want people to support these brothers on the panel too. It's nice to be supported as a whole, as a group, like you just send support as a whole. But all these brothers on the panel have different personalities and different ways of life that they're coming from, and have different experiences that those of you that are coming in now and in the future that can definitely relate to. And I want them to get the great support that we give our Saba as well. And I want them to be recognized. You don't have to say what you're giving them or anything like that, but just even if you send them a thank you through an email, through whatever means they deem fit to get messages, the encouragement is very valuable too. So those of you that are already doing that, we thank you. Oh, sorry. Let me see that. Stephen E. Hotep Saba's influence in my life have provided a wonderful new path for me as well as you good brothers. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And we're actually going to get to Saba right now because we're going to do some hailing. This is how I like to start my teachings of the Teachings of Ma'at. I like to give some hailing because that's what we did. That's what our ancestors did originally. We were the ones that started the hailings and the salutes and everything that you see in history now. We actually created that. I'm actually going to show that. Right now. So I'm going to share my screen. That background music is fire.
Yeah, so is your background. I love that bright bioluminescent, beautiful blue.
Yeah, it puts you in a state of just tranquility, brother.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so before I show you, now, a lot of you that are returning or seeing this in the future, I have already shown you the one Henu. I've shown you the one Henu, and no, it didn't come from a Caucasian. It came from Osiris or Sar. So I'm going to show you another style of hailing, or the Henu. But first, I want to see something right here. Okay, that popped you up front. Okay, I do it this way. Okay. Hold on. Everybody be patient for a second. Let me see something. Okay. That's what I wanted to see. Thank you, Ani. Ani is the architect. You heard him in... We'll get back to the regular screen. Hold on a second. Let me see here. Okay, so Ani is the architect. You heard that in his song, his new one. And I'm actually glad he's just putting his music out because me personally, I like it better than... I like X-Clan and all of them, of course, but I want Ani to put his music out there too, so I'm glad he's doing that. But Ani said in his last song, one of the verses, he says he's the architect. So that is a great, great position to be in. All right, let me share my screen again. Okay, set the music. Let's do this. Share. Okay, so I don't know any other teacher out there other than mine that teaches us things that are directly linked. It says my screen is muted. I don't know if anybody can hear me.
I just muted your actual screen share because it's double playing the music or the sound.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So our teacher is very unique because he actually lives our ancestral life as much as we can in 2023, but we live the Meru Netter. We just don't teach it. This is why the teachings are so monumental and great, because we're actually living it. Everything that we're wearing, just about as much as we can, is representing some form of our ancestry, okay? So I don't know if other brothers were I don't know if other brothers were hailing each other that represent ancient Egypt. Maybe the Black Power movements are doing that. I don't know, but from my research over 20 years, I haven't seen anybody doing this, doing the hail. Okay. Now, what you see in front of you is another form of the Henu, which is the Meru Netter word for hail. And I may do a class on this in the future, which goes back to water, goes back to abundance, goes back to a lot of things. And it was called the Kefa or the Kafa, and it was the right hand over the id or your heart, and it was the raised hand. I don't know if you can see this because I can't see the crowd, but it was the left hand up with the fist clenched, representing the left or Sept or Sept or Set, or where we go into light land after we pass our physical bodies with the power, with the beating of our fist, right? Just like when a gorilla is getting ready to protect its territory and its family and its culture, with the beating of the fist is over our heart, because that's where our heart is what's producing that energy. It's producing the thoughts that wants us to protect our culture, to protect our people. So it's called the Kefa, and the Kefa, or the clenched fist, was a hail symbol for our ancestors long before communism and the Black Power movement. So the Panthers, all these people in the past did not start this. We started it in Kemet. Hailing with our fists was a feeling of abundance, being filled to capacity with strength and honor. Let us beat our chest in remembrance and raise our fists towards the sky. Henu Ma'at. And if you're wondering where this picture is coming from, it's coming from the complete gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt. And it's Ramosis or Ramses, depicted between a Heru, which is on the left, and Ampu, which is on the right. So if you want to look that up, you can. But this is why I do it personally. And this is why I know the brothers are hailing now too, because it's a symbol of our power that still resides within us all. And it's a symbol that resides in our power. It's a symbol that resides in us all, and it's a power that we can pull up at any time. And I'm going to actually show you how to do that tonight. So let's get into the hailing. So you can find this on the website, along with Saba's affirmation, the Ahati Maat affirmation. And I'm going to read the part in blue, which is the Meru Netter, and then I'm going to read the translation, which is in red. And I'm actually going to raise my fist while I'm doing it to show you what we used to do. So, Neb Ma'at, per em Ma'ati. Hail Ma'at is everything. We come forth from her. Henu Saba Tahuti Amen Hotep Ra. Hail Saba Tahuti. Henu Kemet. Hail Kemet. Makaru, Makaru, Makaru. That is our victory voice. Now, to some of you that are new, you might say, wow, this brother's intense, man. What is he doing here? I thought I'm just coming to get some teachings, man, get some information. And this brother's doing some serious. I'm doing this for one, to pay homage to my ancestry, because it means that much to me. It actually brings me to tears. And number two, I'm doing it to bring it to the people out there that are loaded like I was at one time with insecurities, to lower their frequencies. That's a whole nother class, because we don't actually raise our frequency, to lower their frequency back to the level of Tahuti, which is 72, which together is the 9, which goes back to the Inad, or the Peshat as it's properly called. So you start regenerating that energy within yourself to get to a point where we become an asset to one another again. That is why I do it. I don't do it to sound cool, to be proud, to get praise from other people. I do it because it has to be done, because I don't see anybody else doing that. And that takes me to something else. It takes me back to our organization, the Teachings of Ma'at. If you haven't gone over there to the website, check it out. It's teachingsofma'at.org. And what you'll find over there is this. You'll find our foundational ideals, and you'll see this. I believe it's in the Discord chat. If not, I could post it there. But I believe we went over that our last public meeting. But it's just to give people an idea of what our foundation is built on. And it's built on honesty, loyalty, and respect. Honesty, loyalty, and respect. Honesty, it is Ma'at, the law of the universe, is ability to be firm about one's decision to fight for one's life. Everybody here that's listening has a fighting chance for their life, whether you know it or not, and you are worth fighting for. And when you get that spirit within you, then you are capable of fighting for others too. Loyalty, taking action for the benefit of our community, having faith that your leader will serve you. The original meaning of loyalty meant to serve. I'm going to cover that very, very briefly tonight. But the original meaning to what the English is now calling loyalty means to serve, to do something for someone else. And respect. Tireless ambition, it is the fuel that maintains our motivation throughout the teachings of Ma'at movements. Just respect. We don't have to like each other. We just respect the people that are putting in this work. And that's all that counts. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to like everybody. And if a nation was founded on that, it would crumble very quickly if it's based on emotions and personalities. And that brings up the good brother Menkhu Ra. This is the active membership card from Teachings of Ma'at. You get a physical card when you sign up for a membership, because we want you to have an ID, quote unquote, that was created by you and for you. Because our driver's license, the state IDs, whatever, the work IDs, they don't have any type of meaning behind them. But when Menkhu Ra, Meri Ma'at looks at this, He knows that he's a man of noble qualities, a cultured man, a good man, and that he is a great, great person who serves others. So he's the Anmerper, the chief steward, the head of the cultural department. This is how nations are built. They're not built with bickering and arguing, and it's just, they're not built that way. They're built in the quiet confines of the mind, and are brought forth when the physical job is done. And this man is doing that right now. This wasn't who he was when he first came on, and look at him now. Beautiful. On the back of Menkhu Meri Maat's card is his member number, which is a great number, 13. You can ask Saba about that. Shows the date you joined the signature in the red, black, and gold, or the original RBG. We'll get into that during this class too. And then, of course, Ahati Maat. So this is what you get when you sign up and become a member of T.O.M. Okay. I think we're ready to begin now. All right.
Cool, brothers. Respect. Peace to the brothers on the panel. Hail.
Hail to you,
Peace,
brother.
Peace. Hello.
Hail to you. I saw a great transformation in you, brother. And it's great.
Cool.
Hail to you. This
Cool.
brother, if anybody needs somebody to reach out to, Menkhu is the person to do it with. If anything's on your mind. Okay. Ani, I'm just gonna leave it up to you to set up the screen, because it's too much for me to go back and forth with this. If you would, please.
Okay, no problem. Usually if right there where it's at right now,
Mm-hmm.
if once you share your screen and you go to the one directly to the left of it, it'll put just you with that screen. So it's the one right next to it.
So this one right here, right?
Yeah, but after you share your screen, it'll just have your screen up.
Okay, how do you go back? Just back to the original. Hold on. Okay. Share screen. There we go. Share audio. Okay.
And when you get ready to play a video, with if you have any sound, I'll unmute your screen audio.
Okay, I'll just let you know. I'll say I'm playing a video or something.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, everybody that's in the chat listening right now, give me a 1 if you're feeling great. Give me a 2 if you're feeling good. Everybody in the chat that can hear my voice, give me a 1 if you're feeling great. If you're on your water, give me a 1. If you're on your syrup, your scissor, give me a 2. Big face. I know. I kind of switched it up, big face. That was a sales tax. I shouldn't have done that, but okay. All right, people are on their 1s. Good. Sharika put the magical number 3. Nice. All right, let's get into it. Wait a second. What did Stephen E said 2, got a headache, but I'm good. Okay. Very good. All right. So the title of this is New Consciousness. The place where stars are born, what is conscious. But before we get into that, I like to give a little intro. And the intro is going to be dealing with value. And I'm going to show you one of the Meduneta words for value. Value just doesn't mean currency. It doesn't just mean currency. So let's do it. So I've always wanted to start something dealing with oils. It was a thought in my mind, but I didn't think I was valuable to create this, or not create it, but bring this idea into physical reality. And I finally did. And I'm glad I did. And I hope whatever anybody's creating out there at this moment, it is going successful for you. So what I created, one of the things I created is Maat's Fragrance by Ahati Maat. And hopefully this pulls up here. It doesn't. So I got to come back off the screen. And I got to go to my other page here. And let me hide the bookmarks. There we go. Let me go down here. Now, I've been off Facebook for a couple years. I was actually on Facebook, of course, with a different name. I used to just use it for selling stuff, and I got off of most of the social media that's mainstream. So I'm on here just for business purposes. I'm just on here for business purposes. And you can contact me. People contact me, but they contact me for business purposes. I'm not on here to talk behind Saba's back. I'm not here to complain about Ani PTAH and the way he does the technician side of the show. I'm not here for any of that. I'm not even here for making friends on Facebook either. I'm just here to bring value to other people. And if you're interested in bringing value to me too, then please follow. Please follow. So as you can see, this is where I'm selling my book, Journey Through Your Soul Series, Freedom Through God's Word. So I have the ebook here and I have the hardcover here. And I'm not going to go through all this because technically I'm probably going to create a sideshow, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes to do all this consistently and give you a little bit more information on Kemet and Maat. But I don't want to do it here because this is a joint effort between me and the brothers, and I want to value their time. But yes, you could come here, send me a message. You'll see descriptions of the type of oils I'm selling. There's already brothers that are ordering. My lessons are here. So a lot of information here. Okay. So you just put in Maat's Fragrance. Just put in Maat's Fragrance. I'm probably the only one. And it will pop up. Okay. So Maat's Fragrance by Ahati Maat. God sent. The awakening has begun because it really has. We're the only ones that are teaching with this type of style, the Tahuti snake style, echoing Tahuti, Saba Tahuti, Amenhotep Ra, and his greatness. We're the only ones doing that. So what is value? What created the word value? Well, it's actually a part of my name, Aha. Aha. And this glyph here is known as a ship mast or a sail. It's something that is erect, hard and firm and upright and actually creates a vessel or value for energy, which is shu or the air, which steers what a ship. And in metaphorical terms, which I'm going to get into tonight and I'm going to explain on a deeper level. So just ride with me. It might sound a little bit complicated right now, which is a metaphor that our ancestors used or the ancient Egyptians used repeatedly over and over and over again as a metaphor for our consciousness. That is what the aha is. That is what brings value. Similar to your ancestors navigating Happy is the Nile River, for those that are new. Using information from the star maps, they were able to provide Kemet with many valuable items, including information from distant lands. Today, we may not utilize information the same way in our personal lives. However, we can add value to others by recognizing their greatness and offering to support them because they provide us with what we want. Let me reread that. Today, we may not utilize information the same way in our personal lives. So even though this was a concept that happened tens of thousands of years ago, it's still applicable today. It could still provide for us today. However, we can add value to others by recognizing their greatness and offering to support them because they provide us with what we want. A better mindset for not only us, our mates, or our children, but for those who are blessed. And I put quotations because go back to this week's pod class that happens every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time to watch the great Saba Tahuti teach. And he actually taught about the word blessed. So it's actually just a joke that I put here because a lot of our people use blessed. And find out what blessed really means by watching his YouTube channel. But for those who are blessed enough to grace us with their presence. So we provide, the first thing that all the gentlemen and I here provide is value to you. Because again, put the link in the chat or come forth, those of you that hate, and people do hate on me. I have people that right now want their second generation to put a hit on me, or they're going to come after me supposedly. So people are hating, and we're very small right now. Imagine when we become great. There's nobody else teaching the way we are. And hopefully those of you that are new will recognize that and see our value. Oh, and I almost forgot. I don't even know who Sal Vega is other than from Saba's teaching. And he sent me this. And there are people that send me donations. I thank you, Tua. But I don't, again, I'll do that for something separate. I'm not going to do that here. The brothers on the panel time is valuable to me. But I wanted to just show this for the reason that his message was for more life. And that meant a lot to me. Because I got to be honest, a lot of times, even though I have almost a decade in this, ISFET is always going to be there. And ISFET's always telling me to pull out. It's not worth it. They don't think you're valuable enough. This is the week. This is where you tell the brothers you're not doing it anymore. I'm being my aunt right now. I'm being honest. These thoughts do happen. And then I get something like this. For somebody that I've never even seen or conversed with. I know him, again, from Saba's pod class, and he is a great supporter. And then he sends me this for more life. That means I'm affecting somebody's life in a way that, and this is just my interpretation because I don't understand this from his point of view, but from my point of view, he's telling me that this is life-changing information. So Sal Vega, Tua. This is such a beautiful picture. I had to use this for the cover. Which really stands out is Ra right here in the middle. It just brightens up. It looks, man, this looks like a time that we used to really have peace for us as a whole people collectively, not just us here tonight or in the future that are watching, but every quote unquote black person could wake up and see this. So let's trace the origin of water, the molecule of memory. Let's briefly look at a few articles explaining the origin of our sun, planet, solar system, when it pertains to water. This is going to be my longest class. I'm just warning you ahead of time. So if you want to go lay down, you want to go make something to eat, if you want to put your recorder on, that's cool, but you don't want to miss this because I packed this and my crew was going crazy. So I packed it full of information from a lot of classes that I've done and my personal research. So let's go to those articles. I got to pull them up. Salutes to Dominic Moreno. Peace to you, brother. Glad you could come. Okay, I'm going to pull up these articles right now. Presentations. Let's see if I can open them up all at once. I believe it's these three here. Let's see if we can do this. No, we can't. Okay, I gotta do it individually. If you just came into the class, I'm going to share a few articles with everyone, because that's what we do here too. If you notice, we just don't talk from the top of the head. We actually show sources. That's how we've been taught, and that's how we would like the next generations to teach others. Okay, so my screen should be sharing. Yep. Well, let me try this now. Menkhu Ra, how does this look on the screen? Can you read it?
Let me see.
Goldilocks.
Yep,
Star
yep,
is
I can
in
see it.
there.
Yep, I can read it.
Okay,
Yeah, we can
good.
see it, brother.
It's small though, good brother. You want to have it regular until you're ready to just speak, because it's real small for the people to see.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
You're
when
welcome.
you blow it up though, it's readable.
How do you blow? Oh, you mean when I have it on the screen?
Yeah, when you enlarged it, I could read it.
Okay. Half of the Earth. Okay, hold on a second. Let me try this again. Let me ask the chat. Let me see if they can read it. Let me see, because I can always send you this, Menkhu. So everybody in the chat, let me know if you could see the articles on the screen when I blow it up. If not, I will blow it up full screen. Okay. So let me get a 1 if you could see the articles clearly. If not, I will blow it up full screen. Okay, they can see it. Okay. Everybody was getting popcorn and throwing the chicken on the grill. Okay. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm just going to read a little bit because there's 11 pages. I'm not going to read all of it. But I want to give everybody a background on how the universe was actually created, and how our solar system, what's being called a solar system with the sun included, was created. And I want to give it to you from hold on a second. I gotta check something real quick. Hold on. Excuse me.
Peace, brothers on the panel. When you get a chance, not to mess up Ahati's flow, but I sent email for you brothers regarding a cultural thing that we can possibly add to Teachers of Ma'at through our broadcast, our webcast, our book study, our stream. So just to build on. Welcome back, brother.
What was that? You sent out emails?
Yeah, I sent out the email. Just we address it later. Just a little something.
Okay. All right. I had to check the phone real quick there.
Problem.
Waiting on a message from someone. Okay, so those of you that are coming in, hit the like buttons, please. Show us some support with the algorithm if you can't with the finances. I am going to take us to Goldilocks star reveals hidden step in how water gets to planets. And the reason why I'm showing this is because I am going to show you that actually fire can come from water. So this is from astronomy.com. Goldilocks star reveals hidden step in how water gets to planets like Earth by John Tobin. The conversation. Astronomers have long known where water is first formed in the universe and how it ends up on planets, asteroids, and comets. A recent discovery has finally answered what happens in between. This is published March 16th, 2023. And as always, like I tell my students, you can have anything that you see on the screen. You don't have to sit there with your phone taking camera shots and all that, screenshots. So I know some of you do that. Just reach out to one of us on the panel or reach out to me personally, and no problem. I'll send you all the sources, slides, whatever you need. The star system, V883 Orionis, contains a rare star. That's Orionis. Orionis, which is really Osiris, surrounded by a disk of gas, ice, and dust. Without water, life on Earth could not exist as it does today. Understanding the history of water in the universe is critical to understand how planets like the Earth come to be. Astronomers typically refer to their journey water takes from its information as individual molecules in space to its resting place on the surface of planets as a water trail. The trail starts in an interstellar medium with hydrogen and oxygen gas and ends with oceans, ice caps on planets with icy moons orbiting, gas giants, icy comets, and asteroids that orbit stars. The beginnings and ends of this trail are easy to see, but the middle has remained a mystery. So middle has remained a mystery because, according to the scientists, they haven't had the physical technology. But as we go further in this teaching, you'll see that our ancestors didn't need the physical technology. Hold on a second. I'm going back to the full screen because I really want you to see what this article is showing. It's very interesting. So the astronomer says, I am an astronomer who studies the formation of stars and planets using observations from radio and infrared telescopes. So this isn't Ahati, this isn't me, this isn't anybody else. This is from the guy that actually studies the formation of stars. In a new paper, my colleagues and I described the first measurements ever made of this previously hidden middle part of the water trail and what these findings mean for the water found on planets like Earth. It's kind of blurry, but it's just showing a giant cloud because before it becomes water, it is a gas. It's gas and dust in interstellar space. And then on the right is clumps begin to form within this gas. And you can barely see it. It looks blurry, I know, but it ties into what I'm going to be teaching later on, dealing with the Shet symbol, which is a metanetter symbol that you've all seen over and over again, but it's called by an English word now that's now famous. But everything is spinning. Everything is in motion. So the planets formed from the disk and new solar system is born. Oh, I got ahead of myself. So that's 2. Here's 3. Dense, on the right-hand side, dense cores, precursors to stars, form within clumps. So this is where the Talmud is getting this word chaos. If any of you's reading the Medu Netter, or you just looked at some of the netters, and you probably heard the chaotic waters, the primordial waters, the chaotic waters. Not in the sense where I can't make a decision with something that's really important that I have to make the decision on. So now I'm feeling stress and I'm feeling headaches. No. In this instance, quote unquote, the chaos is good. This is why Isfet never goes away. Isfet is a necessity. This is how growth happens. Dense cores, precursors of stars, form within clumps. Number 4, cores condense into young stars surrounded by disks because they're moving, they're in motion, they're kepara, they're revolving. And then number 5, planets form on the left-hand side, form from the disk, and a new solar system is born. Seems pretty simple, huh? Not really. So it says a star and planet formation is an intertwined process that starts with a cloud of molecules in space. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. We'll go on to the next one. This is from Science AAAS. Half of Earth's water formed before the sun was born. Studies suggest water may be more prevalent in the universe than thought. Due to time purposes, I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm just going to read the highlighted parts. This is an article from September 25th, 2014, Daniel Cleary. This is a beautiful picture too. It's showing how out of this gas cloud, this gaseous, energized cloud, shoots out our solar system. Ice that formed an interstellar cloud that gave birth to the sun survived the process to fill our oceans, because there's a process that's going on here. There's a process that's going on here. Peace to Robert Williams. Peace to see you, brother. Glad you're here. Robert Williams is a consistent follower. I wish you could move these screens. Oh no, StreamYard, like OBS. Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah. I know a lot of people think that when you make a plan, it's not supposed to go according to plan. A lot of people have heard that, but that's again part of the process of how life is evolving and unfolding, because everything isn't supposed to go according to plan. So this isn't these gases are throughout the universe, repeating this process over and over again, and for ours to form the way it did is very important and very significant. And I'm going to go through that more as we go on, of course. But I just wanted everybody to know that the things that are happening that we're not even really aware of or interested in are very intricate, very important to us and to the physicality of our bodies and to the mentality of our consciousness and how that's forming as well. So it goes on to say, good news, a team of researchers studied the origin of the water in our solar system has concluded that up to half of it formed before the sun itself was born. So before the sun, or before Ra, a team of researchers found out that the origin of water in our solar system was created that half of it was created before the sun was even born. Apart from Earth, water is found on the moon, Mars, Mercury, comets, and the icy moons of the giant planets. But where did it come from? Okay, this one I have to read to give you some context. To answer that question, a team led by astronomer L. Isidore Cleves of the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, focused on deuterium, a heavy form of hydrogen that was created in the Big Bang along with normal hydrogen gas, right, that forms part of water, H2O. There are about 26 deuterium atoms for every million hydrogen atoms across the universe. And that 26 is significant, as you'll see further on in this lesson, because that number adds up to 8. But it is 6 times as prevalent in the water on Earth and in our solar system bodies. Okay, so scientists conclude that when the water formed, the reaction created deuterium-rich heavy water, because there's a difference between the water that we drink and then there's heavy water, was slightly faster than the one creating normal water. So the proportion of deuterium in water increased. The team constructed a detailed model of the chemical processes creating water in a protoplanetary disk. Much of the cosmic rays are fended off by the young star's magnetic field and particles streaming out from the star. But there are other sources of radiation, X-rays from the star, and short-lived radionuclides in the disk. The scientists say we found that heavy water didn't form in any abundance over 1 million years, Cleves says. In fact, the team estimates that as much as 50% of the water now on Earth may have existed since birth, before the birth of the sun, 4.5 billion years ago. And that's good news for other planetary systems. The conditions in the ISM are far more uniform across space than those in the protoplanetary disks. So it's likely that there is water everywhere waiting for planets to form. And this is why the Tamahu scientists are giddy in looking for other Earth-like planets, which there are. So eventually they can go over there and colonize those too. This is from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. Again, I'm showing you articles to give you extra knowledge, yes, but to also show you that we just don't go off the ancestor sources. We go off of multiple or multifarious sources. And this is the last article for this. This is water in stardust points to origins of life in the universe. This is from Ann Stark. And this says, let me shrink this a little, see if this helps. It doesn't work. These are particles of stardust. The surfaces of tiny interplanetary dust particles are space weathered by the solar wind, causing amorphous rims to form on their surfaces. Hydrogen ions, electricity in the solar wind, react with oxygen in the rims to form tiny water-filled vesicles. You can't really see them, but these little things I'm circling with the green mouse arrowhead are the tiny blue vesicles they're talking about. This mechanism of water formation almost certain occurs in other planetary systems with potential implications for the origin of life throughout the galaxy. Space weathering, which works similar to geological erosion on the Earth, produces water in the rims of tiny particles of interplanetary dust. The discovery may have implications on the origins of life and sources of water throughout the galaxy. As a byproduct of star formation, water ice is the most abundant solid material in the universe. Let me reiterate that. As a byproduct, it's not even the main product, the byproduct of star formation. So it's happening after the main reason why the stars forming, the byproduct of the star forming, what we might call garbage or something that isn't as important as the actual product that we're trying to create on our own, is the most important thing to us here on Geb, which is the Medunetta word for Earth. So as a byproduct of star formation, water ice is the most abundant solid material in the universe. But this new source was a surprise. Former Lawrence Livermore scientists John Bradley and Hope Ishii, now at the University of Hawaii, Manoa, I would want to one day, this is just a side note, I would love to read more and more sisters and brothers as scientists, even if they're in the Matrix. I would just love to hear their names more. It always seems like it's Tom Who's in Japanese and Chinese and Indian, and we're the African people. Took a microscope look at the interplanetary dust particles lurking at the edge of the Earth's stratosphere. They found minuscule vesicles of water hidden in the surfaces of the less than 25 millimeter flakes of dust, which are the width of a single human hair. The dust is mostly made of silicates, which contains oxygen and metallic elements like silicon. As it travels through space, it encounters a solar wind. The stream of charged particles, including high energy hydrogen ions, is ejected from the sun's atmosphere. When the two collide, hydrogen and oxygen combine to make water. This is how water is formed. The cool, refreshing water. The implications are potentially huge, Ishii said. It is a particularly thrilling possibility that this influx of dust onto the surfaces of the solar system bodies has acted as a continuous rainfall of little reaction vessels containing both the water and organics, key ingredients needed for the eventual origin of life. The surfaces of small bodies, such as interplanetary dust particles or tiny pieces of comets and asteroids, can be eroded by solar wind. Larger bodies that do not have an atmosphere, such as the moon, are bombarded by both solar wind and tiny meteorites. This form of bombardment causes a phenomenon called space weathering. Lunar dust brought back by Apollo missions showed for the first time the results of space weathering in the form of what have been called rims. Whether you believe that Apollo went to the moon or not, I'm going to leave that to the side. I don't even know if we could. No, I think we could talk about it here. Yeah, we could talk about it here, but I'm just going to leave that for another class where you can talk to Saba about that. And if you want to know what I believe, you can always contact me. The rims are the result of chemical modification of the surface of the particle caused by high energy impacts and continuous bombardment of the solar wind. The result is an imbalance in the chemical structure of the dust, and some of the bonds of oxygen loosen and become susceptible to chemical reactions. So it's interesting, in the chemical world, an imbalance is not necessarily a bad thing. So just like our ancestors, duality does play a major part in the consciousness of not only us, but the universe. Again, being off balance may cause you to grow, may cause us to grow. Bradley and his team bombard the dust particles with charged hydrogen and helium particles to duplicate the solar wind in the laboratory. The experiments consistently found water, not only in samples, but blasted by hydrogen. The same dust is expected to be found across the solar systems. The report appears in January 20th edition, Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. So those are the long articles. I believe I only have maybe one more. And that is it. So let's get back to the presentation. So we came to a conclusion that we now know that water is formed from hydrogen and dust in the universe. And the water is very important. Very important. There's an important aspect of water, maybe even more important. And I use importance loosely. I'm just using it because a lot of us know this English term. But how in ancient Egypt or Kemet, again, the dualistic mindset was that just because something creates something doesn't mean the created thing cannot create something as well. So what am I trying to show you? Well, here we teach about the etymology of words. We just don't go with the modern meaning. We go with the creator's original meaning of the words. The etymology of memory is from the meta word for water. The etymology of memory is from the meta word for water. Memory, which means consciousness. The Proto-Indo-European root of memory is mer. It means to remember. Mer is a meta word for water. Down here on your bottom left-hand corner, I do apologize, I cannot zoom in with this program I'm using, but I have no problem sending you the slide. Mer means any collection of water. Let me put on my pointer. Mer means any collection of water, a lake, a pool, a cistern, a reservoir, a basin, canal, a flood. See that? So it may look like the meta word for mer does not connect to our memories, and therefore does not relate back to water or even our sun, Ra. Let me remove the veil for you now. Mer also means a wish. A wish upon a shooting star, right? Make-A-Wish Foundation. Mer also means a wish because Mer, which also created the Meri, or the Meri, or Meri, or the land of desired attraction, love. And I had a discussion with a female a couple of years ago where she believed that lust is different from love. When you look at the etymology of love, it just means your desire, and everybody has desires. Therefore, lust is not a bad word. It's another psyop created by the Bible creators to keep us from breeding, to keep us from having multiple mates, to keep us sexually repressed. A wish means, it's from the word, it means to cherish, a desire. See that? And it's from when. It's from when. It means to strive for something, a desire. Veneration also has the same root as wish. Wish is when. It means a desire, to strive for, to worship. Worship is not a negative word. I am not afraid to say I worship Saba Tahuti. I am not in my feelings or afraid to say that. That is the truth. That is Ma'at. Worship is not a bad word. And if you can't worship yourself, you can't worship another person. Veneration comes from the word venery, which does have the same Proto-Indo-European root. It means pursuit of sexual pleasure, sexual intercourse, sexual love, sexual desire, to strive for. And many brothers worship the vagina. They do. They worship it. Well, that comes from venery. It comes from when. It also means the practice or sport of hunting, the chase. And we're going to get into that a little later. What is the original word for hunting or the chase. And right back to desire, which connects it right back to express a wish to obtain. So if you're not acting on your desires within, within Ma'at, of course, truth, knowledge, reciprocity, balance, justice, it's okay to act on your desires. Religion will tell you otherwise, but it's okay. And yes, Nu also means the hunter, the huntsman, the master of the hunt. And there's a symbol in here that I'm going to show you why Nu also means the hunter. Why it also means the hunter. But to think from a metaphorical point of view, when we want something, when we really desire something, what do? First thing we do, we have to have a conscious thought about it. We have to have an idea in our mind. So for instance, when I really wanted to link up with a group of brothers and start a movement with them, I first had to have a conscious idea of that. I had to first become consciously aware of that within my mind. Then I had to start focusing, or I had to start, quote unquote, being aware, examining, hunting for a way to create this, to turn this idea into something tangible, something of matter, something physical. The only way I can do that is through this little symbol here. And I know it's not real clear, so I'm going to go to my trusted pointer here, and you should see the pointer, the red dot circling it. And this is the symbol also for Nu. A lot of you should know that by now, especially those of you in Meta class, that this symbol here symbolizes the letter N or the Nu. This is the Nu symbol. Now you'll hear it's a ripple of water, but it also stands for waves. It stands for sound waves. Sound waves are what are partially creating the thoughts that are in your mind right now and mine as well. So these waves, the water, that also the cerebral spinal fluid, also that's supporting my brain, that's keeping it moist, also plays a part. So without that, there's nothing to hunt. This is the Nu. Yeah, so we were the original hunters. It wasn't a tomahawk in the wood, it was a shotgun or assault rifle like now. We were the original hunters. This is Sobek chilling on the banks, catching some raw. And there's many coffin texts that speak on Brother Sobek arising out of Nu. But for now, I'm going to focus more on the Merti, or the Merit, which are the divine eyes, the sun. You can see the symbol here, the reptile symbol. That's another name, because the divine eyes dealt with our perceptions on life. Everybody, people in general. So the people, one of the many titles, one of the many names for the collective consciousness or people of Kemet was the Merit or the Merti or the Mert. The divine eyes. Okay, I'm going to eventually play a video here. Ani.
It's playing, brother, but I can't hear it.
Okay. This is a short video about crocodile eyes. Okay. just wanted to show that because it's cool. Okay. Let's go to full screen. So we see that the Sobek's eyes is in darkness. It actually looks like the moon. Very interesting. So the same word for water, memory, wish, sex, desire is the same word for light energy, Ra, and is people known as the Meri. Now let's get into why and how it pertains to our consciousness and water. The etymology of consciousness, what is it really? Consciousness, the noun is internal knowledge. Conscious plus ness means a state of being aware of what's passing and what passes in one's own mind. It means to know. To know. Here at the teachings of Ma'at, you notice we speak about tones a lot. There's a reason for this too, but first, did you know our bodies are giant tuning forks that resonate energy that either attracts or repels matter. By setting your vibration to a certain frequency, you can use minimum words to achieve your desires. I'll say that again. Our bodies are giant tuning forks. We're mostly composed of water that resonate energy that either attracts or repels matter. So you're either attracting things towards you or you're repelling them with your thoughts. By setting your vibration to a certain frequency, you can use minimum words to achieve your desires. So like I shared with my SecMet presentation, Lion's Memory, where I talked about the I think about the Schumann resonance, the morphic resonance, where your thoughts, Rupert Sheldrake talks about, the scientist Rupert Sheldrake talks about, that it's more important for us to focus on our thoughts more than what we're saying and what people are doing. Because while we're sitting alone or doing what we're doing, when we're thinking nobody's watching us, and those isfet thoughts come in and we can't repel them, they're actually attracting the matter that we don't want in our lives when we should be repelling them. I'm going to show you how to repel it towards the end of this presentation. The things you don't want in your life. Peace, sister. This is a good website I get articles from. It's called Out of Mind. And one of the articles from a few years ago showed a comparison between water sound vibration at Tahuti's frequency at 432 hertz, and then water sound vibration at 440 hertz in it. And the 432 hertz looks like the sun and its rays extending out. The vibration of the water looks like the sun with the rays pulsating out or shooting out. The Usur. Why am I showing this? The Usur, this symbol here, was a symbol of power as well. It meant to steer. It was a rudder. It was a steering pole, an oar. It's used metaphorically as well for our consciousness, when our consciousness is being described by the ancestors as a ship, which I'm going to get to as well as the presentation goes on. As a ship, let me see something real quick here. Exit. When our ancestors reference our consciousness as a ship, well, every ship needs a rudder, it needs something to steer with. And that was called the Usur. When it's being used in metaphorical terms, which is dealing with our power, which has multiple names and meanings in the Medu Neter, but one that a lot of us already know would be our Ka, or our energy. Where's your energy steering you today? Energy also exists, of course, in water. So the Usin from the Us, which creates the Usur, means what? It means to ejaculate. It means to make water. It means emission from a netter or a netteret. It means what are we putting out there into the environment around us that's not giving us or bringing us what we believe we should be receiving. So the only one I could blame is myself if I'm not receiving whatever it is that I want. I can't blame anybody. I can only blame me. And then what you see here on the top left-hand corner, you see the symbol of the Us, or the Usur, blown up on the temple wall, with the god Nu covered in blue, because he's often depicted in blue. Nu is also Noon. He goes by many different names. That's what I love about the ancestors. They never just got locked into one thing. If it can be perceived and understood or overstood, then it can be named. It could be given an asset. So of course, Nu would be holding the power or the or the vibration that steers Kemet, or the nation of the Neter and Netteret, the gods and goddesses. And then on top of Nu's head, you see the Wajit protection, the eye, surrounding the light, surrounding Ra. Follow me, there is a point to all of this, and it's very interesting. Let's break down the word tune and see how it connects to the AI metaverse. So the etymology of tone, because it is the pi root of tune, the Medu Neter does not have a specific word for tune or tone. The Medu Neter does not have a specific word for tune or tone. What is interesting is the English can always be picked apart by the ancestors' prior knowledge of life. And that is very, very, that's something I want to say is very, very beneficial to us, is that if we're ever confused about something that's happening concerning the English language, always go to the etymology, and then from the etymology, if you have your dictionaries, it doesn't have to be Budges, but if you have your dictionaries, we use Budge here because it's very simple to use. But there are other dictionaries. R.O. Faulkner has his own. James Allen has his own. There's other dictionaries. But if you have a dictionary of the Egyptian language, I recommend using that as a cross-reference. So the Medu Neter does not have a specific word for tune or tone. What's interesting is the English can always be picked apart by the ancestors' prior knowledge of life. This way, we can never be deceived again unless we allow it to exist in our unless we allow it into our life. So the etymology of tone means a musical sound or note. Musical sound or note. It's from the Latin tonus, a sound, a tone, an accent, literally stretching. From the Greek tonos, a vocal pitch, raising a voice accent key in music. Originally stretching, a tightening, a taut, to string, which is related to tenon, to stretch, from the pi root 10, to stretch. The Greek tenon, to stretch, tasis, a stretching, a tension, tenos, sinew, tetanos, stiff, rigid, tonos, a string, hence the sound, pitch. And I want us to really focus on sound here. Focus on sound. I wonder where the Greeks got the idea to equate tonos, or 10, with sound. I wonder where the Greeks got that idea from. Could it be this below? You're looking at what's now called the Temple of Karnak on one of its many walls. And it's the original number system created by the Medu or Metu language. This is where numbers came from these images. The Mer, which is also the Mut, you might have heard of this, the Mut, the Mutet, Mut. Mut is also a word for mother in Matrix. Mer also, or the Mut, also means to die, to be dead, death. The Met also means death because vowels are interchangeable in the Medu Neter. So the Mut and Met are the same word. They mean death because death is life. It's life after life. It's actually, from my research, probably a lot more less restrained and unlimited than here. Yet, majority of society is afraid of it. And I only say that because once you sign up to the Medu Neter class on Mondays with Sabbath Tahuti and really start getting in depth to what he's teaching and what you're reading on your own, you'll realize that your dream state is a lot more freeing than the physical realm we're in right now. And I use that loosely because both realms actually exist simultaneously. The Met means inundation, the emission of the Nile god. So you will see this often in your dictionary, if you have Budget's dictionary. Most of the Neter are known as emitting Nile gods. And so is the Met, because nothing exists without the emission of water, of the ejaculating penis and vaginal fluid connecting and creating new life. And of course, the metanu. The metanu or the metanu means what? It means the 10th or 10. And the symbol here that looks like a horseshoe is called the Hubble because it was on the temple over here. I know I can't blow it up. It's very small, but it's also, if you can see the circling, pointing red dot. And we count down 1, 2, 3. And what I'm circling here, you can see it. You can see it barely, but you can see the Hubble on the wall. It's in other places too. But this is this symbol is the original symbol for what's now being called the number 10. So why? The young brother does not know he is the metaverse. The metaverse is something very big right now. With the Oculus VR glasses. I know one of my favorite rappers, Cannabis, is big into this. Or he was, at least when I was listening to him consistently. So a lot of people don't know that they are the meta. This is the metaverse. Verse just means to turn, to bend. The original term was meta. That's where they're getting it from. That's where the Jews are getting it from. Meta, the star god. See that? And of course, we know by now, but if you're new, we are made from stars because the planet comes from Ra, comes from the sun. And the ancestors had a word for it. They called it meta. See that? We are the metaverse because as I get into this further, you'll see life is constantly twisting, turning. It's changing. Our lives are changing, even as I speak. Here, the teachings of Ma'at, we will teach them forever. Meaning the babies, the children, next generations. So we now know water created the sun, and it created the planets and eventually us. Will this align with the teachings of the Medu Neter from thousands of years ago? Stay tuned to find out. So this is Lake Victoria. It's the world's largest tropical lake and the largest lake in the African Great Lakes region. Africa wasn't called Africa by our ancestors until it was colonized. Black power. I just put the fish here because I like the colors. Hap, and it says hap for happy. Hapalochromis neri is a species of cichlid endemic to Lake Victoria in Africa. Cichlids are one of the largest vertebrate families in the world. They are most diverse in Africa and South America. Africa alone is host to at least an estimated 1,600 species. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fish. It's something that they would call exotic over here in the States. And you can see that this Lake Victoria is right in the center, in the eastern part, right along the Nile Valley area. That's a whole nother lesson. I suggest you ask Saba Tahuti if you'd like, how it was created. But of course, let's dive deeper and leave the shallow part behind. What I'm going to connect for you now is beneficial to the mind, is beneficial mind-changing information. I know I mentioned the god Noon, but if you have been following my teachings for a while, I like to give you every piece of the puzzle I'm connecting for you during my presentations. Let me very briefly introduce to you the Neter Mu, or Mu, and his mate Moet, before we get back to Nu. Not Moet, but Moet. I think some of us used to drink Moet. The Neter Mu has been buried in the sands of time for far too long. Let me say that again. The Neter Mu has been buried in the sands of time for far too long. Some of you may have heard of a fictional place called Atlantis that never existed, but not the god Mu. Let me ask the chat. Let me get off the screen here. Let me ask the chat. Oh, peace, Jason. Peace, Jay. Jason Kirkland's in the house. Says, Henu Ahati Maat. Henu Ahati Maat. Henu Ani Patah. Aten Tahuti. Henu Etefrem Kem Maat. Henu Menkhu Meri. Maat. Henu to the chat room. Peace to you, brother. Glad you can make it. I know you're working. Stephen E. says, even Buddhism teaches not to give in to desire. Right. Well, you know, Stephen E., you're learning the Meta Netter. You're in good company. You're among good fellowship. You're learning from the greatest teacher that's ever lived. And you will begin to trust your desires once again, like your ancestors. Okay, so anybody conscious in the chat? Anybody on their water? Give me a 1. Because I want to know if anyone has ever heard of the Netter move. Have you heard of the Netter move?
Not moo, new.
Moo. Has anybody in the chat heard of the Netter move? I'm just going to cover it briefly too, but with all the
Stephen E says 1. Is that Crocodile Soulback?
Yes, I'm naming it Sobek. I don't know what it names itself, but I'm naming it Sobek.
I got Robert Williams says, is that Crocodile Soulback? Stephen E says 1. Stephen E says, never heard of the Netter moo.
Okay.
Robert Williams says, no.
No. Okay. All right. Let me get back to the stream. New for me also. Okay, Sharika. Hey, I was listening. This is a little off topic. I was listening to some came to mind yesterday, Ani and the Tef, when I was creating this part of it. Ziggy Marley. I used to listen to Ziggy Marley a lot, and he had this great album called Conscious Party. I don't know if you heard of it, Tef, because it was back in the 80s. You might have heard of it.
Now, I know who the artist is, but I don't think I heard that album.
Yeah, so Ani did that lion sound effect. It reminded me, he has a song on there, a great song. It's talking about the eagle and the bear, and they're fighting for control of the lion's territory. Man, it's a great song. It's about when the United States and Russia were over trying to recolonize parts of Africa again. But I don't want to get off topic here. It's just a little nostalgia moment.
Stephen E says, new, yes, the primordial waters that begat Ra.
Yeah, Stephen E, I'm talking about Mu, M-U. There's a Netter Mu as well. And Caro says, I have not. Okay. Let's get back to it. And they're fighting for control of the lion's territory. All right, so the Netter Mu has been buried in the sands of time for far too long. Some of you may have heard of the fictional place called Atlantis that never existed. Atlantis never existed. Never. And if you don't believe me, check out my Atlantis Did Not Exist. You can find it at theteachersofmod.org, or you can go to my Facebook page. But if you really want to know the truth, cop the Atlantis Did Not Exist. Now, people, remember this. So-called lost continent. Hold on. Now, people, remember this so-called continent instead of the actual Netter called Mu. So Mu is a mythical lost continent introduced by Augustus Le Pelagon, who identified the land of Mu with Atlantis. The name was subsequently identified with the hypothetical land of Lumeria. You know how many people I've met in the past who always talk about Atlantis and Lumeria, the Lumerian people? It's all BS. It's all bullshit. Who asserted that it was located in the Pacific Ocean before its destruction. Where? Where in the Pacific Ocean is it located? Can you show me on the Lumerian map created by a Lumerian? Show me that map. Because I'll show you maps that our ancestors made. Very detailed, very complicated. maps that scientists are still trying to decipher. Show me that. The place of Mu in both pseudo. This is the real pseudoscience, okay? So people want to call Saba pseudo and pseudoscience. They want to call our teaching pseudo and pseudoscience. This is, if you want to call anything fake science or pseudoscience or fictional thinking, because that's what science, that's where science comes from, to know. This is it right here. This place called Lemuria, Atlantis, Mu. This is your key. It's the lost this guy Augustus, right? Who hates women, by the way, lost continent of Mu, motherland of men? What? That's a contradiction right there. It's the motherland of men. What about the women? Is a mother a female trait? I can't be a mother. I'm a man. I can't be a mother. So this is just an island full of men. So this is a homosexual. This is a homosexual island. So all these Tamahus I met in the past, and brothers and sisters do it too because they follow the Tamahus. Lumerian. Did you hear about Lumerian? The Lumerians. It's a homosexual island that you're studying and researching about. Now, I don't know how far I can go with this before they stop the stream. Next time you hear of Atlantis, you hear of Lemuria, you hear the land of Mu, you go back to the original teachers of this, which are the Greeks, which is Plato, and you look up how his brothers interacted. They were the original nightclub disco, getting it in, West Hollywood, painting rainbow. Those are, look up pederasty, and now it all makes sense. And we have brothers doing shows on this and standing. That's their truth. We're for the sisters here. We don't want a motherland of just men. That's disgusting. So long overdue introduction to the netter, Mu, and his mate, Moet. So Mu means a watery mass of water, a stream, a canal, a lake, a liquid. But we come down here and we start seeing symbols. We start seeing the symbol for the opener of the way, the oop. We see that means the brow of the water. Brow. What is a brow? What is a brow? I can't see the chat. I don't know if Ani's still on or it's F, but can you let me know when they respond? Everybody, what does a brow mean?
What does a brow mean? Okay, let's see who knows.
Robert Williams says it's only pseudo because it's not in their convention.
Yes, that's very true.
That, and they follow Tamahu scientist.
Angela Gates says, I don't know. Dominique Moreno says, I have no clue, sir. Robert Williams says, eyebrow.
Very good. Very good, Robert Williams. Very good. It does mean eyebrow, and we're going to get into that. The water has an eyebrow.
Upper part. Master K says upper part.
He said what?
He says upper part.
Okay.
The upper part.
So yes, the brow of water means an eyebrow, and it also means the star of the waters. Because stars have eyebrows. We're stars. We come from stars, and we're composed of the stars' material. That's just a couple meanings. There's many. Mu is the divine essence or sperm of Osiris. Somebody's essence is something that is produced purely from their core. Our sperm is not produced outside of us, it's produced inside of us. So therefore it is our essence, it is pure. It's what recreates us. The water god, the personification of the celestial waters. So everything that's created from the universe to us is the Mu. The Muet is the goddess or the Neteret of the primordial, the consort of the great ocean. So the original term for ocean was a watcher. The watcher. And then the Munu Ra. The Munu Ra is the water of Ra, the celestial water, the water on which Ra sails. So Mu is very important, but yet hardly discussed or talked about online or just in the mainstream conscious community. Mu Imentet, the water of Imentet, or the energy, the consciousness, because we have the feather of Ma'at, and it's dealing with the consciousness, the vibration, the frequency, all these terms that didn't previously exist in the meta-netta that we use today so much, like frequency and vibration. But I'm using it here, and yes, it's dealing with. Let's get into it. And I may do something in the future on this because I have a whole file on this just for myself. And it's helped me tremendously, so I may share it with the world, because this is part of the spark that initiated the idea within my consciousness, was the Mu. Because it's not talked about hardly ever, and two, it's dealing with Heru, who was one of the original great warriors for Kemet, the Heru Bahutet, which is hanging around my neck right now, the Golden Warrior. And Brother Jason calls me the Golden Brother, the Golden Warrior. And I had an aunt back in the day, long time ago, that used to call me Goldie. But the Mu is the water of somebody that's dependent on someone, not in a bad way, not codependency type thinking, but dependent. We all depend on someone, even if it's ourselves. Someone who's on their water, and we're going to get into that. Somebody that's on their water. And I heard Nahum from Saba Tahuti's class. This is how great this energy, this consciousness works that we're teaching, that people are syncing with us that don't even realize they're doing it consciously. It's happening on a quote unquote unconscious or new level. So the Mu also means somebody that's on their water. One of the first things that I learned from Saba Tahuti, I knew how to work out, but not on a level as Saba, not on the looking up scientific research on the supplements that I'm putting in my body, the food that's going in my body, all that. It gets really, really intricate. But I always noticed he drank a lot of water. He still does. And I know Ani does. I know I do. I'm not sure about a Tef or Menkhu, because I never asked them. But somebody that's on their water. We're all on our water here. And we're all on our water physically, because water is the essential nutrient to the Khat, or the physical body. The Khat is a meta-netta word for body. And on the conscious level, water is dealing with a certain quote-unquote frequency. Okay? So somebody that's on their water can now become a dependent not only on themselves eventually, because in the beginning we all had questions. I used to send Saba incessant in questions to the point he would have to tell me, slow down. To the point now where I'm basically dependent on myself finding the answer. This is what happens during this journey. We become dependent on our ancestry again, so that now we create followers of our own. And that's what it means to be a follower. There must be followers. If everybody is like in this chaotic order that we're living in this Western society, where they say everybody can be their own leader and And you hear this in the Black community a lot. We don't have leaders. And it's like they wear like a badge of honor. Like it's a great thing. We don't have leaders. I don't want to be a part of that group. Nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody on the panel here plays a different role. Nobody's doing the other person's role, if you noticed. And you need that in order to have a cohesive, coherent structure to leave for your children. And you can't do that if you don't have the knowledge, one, and then you're on your water or you're taking action with that knowledge, meaning I have to first trust somebody and become a follower of something. Else I'm just out here like the negative way of being on your water, which is the erroneous term. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, is going with the flow. I don't ever want to go with the flow anymore. Oh, just go with the flow. It sounds all right. Like just chill out. No, I don't want to go with the flow. The current takes you all over the place. If you jump in a river that's flowing, it'll take you all over part of the river. You could drown or die. No, I don't want to do that. You want to swim against the current. You want to swim against what's currently accepted. I don't know if people are hearing me right now. The reason a lot of people don't like me is because I go against the current. I go against what's naturally, not naturally, excuse me, which is innaturally accepted in the society. To put it to extreme terms, I hate it. I don't hate the person, which the energy resides in them, but I hate what their mindset represents. I hate that. I truly do. I'm not afraid to say that. Hate to me is good. And this is where some people, the numbers might drop, and people go, oh man, I thought you guys, Saba's not like, whoa. And I must remind you, we all have our different personalities. And that's why some of the people are here, because they like that. Some people gravitate towards me. Some people gravitate towards Ani. Some people gravitate towards the ETH. Some people gravitate towards Menkhu. And that's what we want. But I'll tell you straight up, yes, I have hate in my heart. Not hate in meaning that I'm going to go out and kill somebody or shoot them just because I can't control my emotional state. No, I hate what happened to us, because I've researched so much over these almost 10 years now. I've researched so much that I literally cry now. Like I'm in the colonization part. Like we could say we understand and we get it, but there's a different feeling when I'm, let's say Ani's mother dies and Ani's breaking down and crying. I can be empathetic with Ani and understand that he is going through some traumatic experience, but I really don't know what he's feeling. I can't feel that deep pain he's feeling that's producing those tears in his eyes. But when you understand or overstand the people and you really relate and live their lifestyle once again, you can truly feel that pain within you, like you were in that time period, because time doesn't exist, space and time doesn't exist, as Saba teaches and we teach here. And these moments are very frequent and will reoccur over and over again. So I literally cry now when I think about the ancestors. I cried making this presentation. I did. And it was so powerful to me, I did contact Saba over it. I said, I don't understand what's going on. I'm crying at looking at Lake Victoria's, and I'm crying looking at gorillas, because I know those were beautiful times, beautiful moments that we can get back to if people just trust us for once and put their personalities to the side. Listen, you don't got to like me. You can even, I even welcome the hate. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But I do want your children to have a chance. So it's a follower. Mu is a follower. And I can do a class on this another time. It means knowing my water, knowing my position of the vessel on the ship I'm riding on. What ship are we riding on here? T.O.M, Teachings of Maat. I know my position on the ship I'm on. If I'm trying to, ETH is steering and I'm trying to grab the oar from ETH while he's steering the ship, we're going to crash into a rock or the shoreline. That doesn't make any sense, does it? No. So we have to, and I like, that's why I said in the beginning of this, those of you that are coming in late or watching the playback of this in the future, Ani talks about this in one of his songs, and he repeats this repetitively. He said, I had to learn about what a brother is. I had to learn about what a sister is, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And that's very true. We have to become like Mu. We have to become like a primordial state or a birthing state or baby state in order to grow. Now to relax a little bit. Isn't that beautiful? This is what made me cry. To some, it just looks like a waterfall and some rocks. To me, it looks like I passed home. That's what these teachings do. It's not a game to us. Games are fun. They have their moments. Don't get me wrong. When I get off here, I'm going to relax, have fun. Absolutely. But men have to take charge again. Our men have to take charge, man. I have no respect for you at all. Why should I? We're children in this matrix. And those of you that get hurt over that, well, so be it. But the ones that don't get hurt know they're putting in the work. They're the Mu. You know who you are. Let me welcome you. And by the way, that same energy is what made me in the beginning, without knowing about anything what I'm teaching you now, who are so fortunate to have what I didn't have in the beginning. Something in me just compelled me to grab Saba's just to help him. How can I help, man? Anything. Carry your bag, anything. Would I do that for another brother? I'll be honest, no. But something in me compelled. That's the Mu. Let me welcome you to what is now called Victoria Falls, between the borders of Zambia and Zimbabwe. Approximately twice as wide and twice as deep as Niagara Falls, the water spans the entire breadth of the Zambezi River at one of its widest points. So it's twice as deep as Niagara Falls in Canada. It's more than 5,500 feet. That's huge. I'm going to play another video, Ani. Brief video. This article I highly recommend. It's very interesting, but we just don't have time to go through this article. So I'm just going to show you the brother here. Hopefully it's able to remain up.
Above all, I would like to say welcome to Victoria Falls. Bienvenido at Victoria Falls. Right now we are looking at the falls to say, come here, to say, when we look at the falls, people are very curious to say, what happened for the falls to begin? There was a volcano 150 million years ago. Yeah. Thanks, Blanc. 150 million years ago. The volcano happened and the lava spilled all over this place. Then it solidified, cooling off, the cracks were formed. The cracks are like the gorges. Those who might fly a helicopter might see them in another form. Those who might go rafting might see them in another form. But I will show you one of them now. These are the cracks. As Carcantas. They were formed after the volcano was contracted. Then Botswana is an open country of desert. The sand was blown by wind from Botswana gradually, maybe 2,000 years or more. These cracks were totally buried. Remember, they are 108 meters deep. The cracks were totally buried, or should I say, the gorges were totally buried. The Zambezi River is 280 million years old. The falls is 150. So now the falls are on the Zambezi, but that time when the volcano took place, Zambezi was flowing from North Zambia to South Africa. So the falls were happening, the volcano was happening on the side. But in Botswana, the land was uplifted in a place known as Makadikadi. When the waters of Zambezi could not continue flowing to South Africa, they changed direction to the east. Then came to this position where they found that the creeks were buried under loose sand. Started excavating to make this one the falls. After about 5,000 years, this one became the next falls. 6,000 later, this one became the next falls. But always less than 10,000, but between 10 and 5, maybe 7,000 later, this became the next falls. And that's what we're going to see today. But now geographers say precisely in 10,000 years to come, the next one is coming here. Right. This is the lesson. I'll put a little example. I will examine.
So we're gonna see that the ancestors knew about these falls. The ancestors knew about these falls too, because it happened 10,000 years ago. And did you hear when the now they call it Zambezi, but when the river was blocked, its flow was blocked, it had to do what? It had to change direction. Similar to our lives. When something's blocking us, we have to change direction, even if we don't like to. So according to the let me blow this up for everyone. So according to the Bantu title, Shungu Namu Titma, Shungu Namu Titma, boiling water. It was named this after the water drains into the basin. It creates a frothy experience similar to a pot of boiling water, known to the locals as boiling pot. So Shungu Namu Titma means boiling water. Remember what Victoria Falls was called? It was called Shungu Namu Titma, the Bantu title for boiling water. Mu M Sechet. Mu M Sechet means what? Boiling water. See that? Boiling water. Mu M Shetet. And here we have the conscious symbols or the quantum realm symbols, or the symbols in the Medunetter known as the net or Neith symbols. The cross, the crossroads, the X, and then the fire, dealing with electrons, which we're going to get into too. Electrons and water and waves. But the Mu'em Sechet was known as boiling water. And I wasn't going to say this, but I'm in a great mood, so I'll say it. We are the originators, we meaning the ancestors are the originators of the concept or the actual name of the, you hear in the Bible called the lake of fire. You hear about going to hell, being casted with your demons in the lake of fire. All you sinners. Well, we're the ones that created the term lake of fire. So that would be a great question for Saba Tahuti. Why is it water with fire in it? Why is it water with fire in it? We may have heard of the terms just go with the flow, or maybe life is fluid. Are these accurate representations of the present existence we live in? So just go with the flow, man. Life is fluid. Are these accurate representations of the present existence we live in? Well, let's find out by reading a brief article describing how electrons behave like waves, similar to water. One second, just pulling up the article here. So this says electron whirlpool. Scientists witness electricity behaving like water. July 7, 2022 by Michael Irving. Not the same Michael Irving from the Cowboys. Okay, so I highlighted. So I'm just going to read the highlighted parts for time purposes. So researchers at MIT observed that electricity flows as a fluid, which could make more efficient electrons. So this is electricity flowing like a liquid or a fluid. But while water molecules are big enough to jostle each other and flow together, electrons are much smaller, meaning they are more influenced by their surroundings than each other. Under ideal conditions at temperatures close to absolute zero and in pure, defect-free materials, quantum effects should take over their movement and allow them to flow as electron fluid with the viscosity or the substance of honey. So what we see honey observed as. That's how it looks like with an electron being in a liquid state. If scientists could harness this, it could make for more efficient electronic devices where electricity flows with less resistance. The MIT study says these are common structures in fluid flows, but not something that electrons can usually produce. And as such, they've never been observed before. So this has never been observed before the article or the MIT team is doing the study. The researchers spotted the electron whirlpools in crystals of tungsten ditelteride. Now remember whirlpools. Think about what a whirlpool is. Think about the shape and the spin of a whirlpool. So I'm going to touch on that a little bit later. So that was just a diagram showing how the electrons flow back and forth. And it says in a standard metal in gold, that'd be A on the left, and how they create electron whirlpools in quantum material, the tungsten ditelteride on the right. So gold, they go more in a uniform spin, whereas in the deltoid, it looks like they flow in one direction, they go in a whirlpool, and then they go back in the opposite. So electron vortices are expected in theory, but there's been no proof, and seeing is believing, said Levi Tove. Now we've seen it, and it's a clear signature of being in this new regime where electrons behave as fluid, not as individual particles. Very interesting. You can see they're going in whatever direction they need to flow in. They just don't have to go in one direction, like in A over here, in the gold. I'm going to start speeding this up here. So the number 8 in the Meru netter. Remember I mentioned the 26 electrons earlier in the presentation. If you're just tuning in now, go back and check that out. The 26 electrons added up is 8. The number 8 in the Meru netter has a very interesting connection to Kemet, atoms, electrons, and water. Let's see why. This is called the covalent bonding of a water molecule. I can't read the whole thing, but it's a great article. A hydrogen atom is made up of one photon at its core and one electron that revolves around the core in a three-dimensional orbit. An oxygen atom, something that is very vital to us, of course, is made up of 8 protons and 8 neutrons, and at its core, 8 electrons, 888, that revolve around the core in 2 separate three-dimensional orbits. The inner orbit contains 2 electrons, whereas the outer orbit contains 6, again, an 8. We go to the Meru netter. And chemin, or chem, that makes up the chemin in Kemet means what? 8. See that? Means 8. Kemet also means fire. Means fire. So we have an atom that creates water, literally exists in fire or light. Think about that. Real quickly, a little vignette from the Purim Haru, Budget Purim Haru. For those of you that have it, it's the yellow book with the yellow cover. I'm just going to read the red underlined parts for time purposes, but the whole thing's great. It's talking about what's now called the Bennu bird. Maybe I'll read most of it. It says, saith Osiris, the scribe Ani, triumphant in peace. I came into being from unformed matter. It means the physical realm that we know of today, that we're looking around, which is really the illusion that leaves people disillusioned. I came into being from unformed matter. So there's things that exist prior to which you can physically see now. I created myself in the image of the god Keparah, and I grew in the form of plants. That's a whole nother class. I'm hidden in the likeness of the tortoise, a whole nother class. I am formed out of the atoms of all the gods. That means the gods were existing when this was happening. The Neter, the Netiru. I am the yesterday of the 4 quarters of the world, describing Pet or heaven, as it's called today. And I am the 7 Urea, or Wachet, which came into existence, 7, the very magical number, into existence in the east. Goes back to the Kefa, dealing with the Ib and Ibatu, or Ibet, which is the east. I lead with my left. The mighty one who illumineth the nations by his body. I sail among them. I become a shining one. Before there was light, there was darkness. Again, this is from Budget Purim Haru. I am new, and those who work evil shall not overthrow me. Let me say that again. I am new. I am new. You are new. You that follow Ma'at are new. And those that work evil or isfet or chaos or whatever's blocking us from achieving what we really, really desire shall not overthrow us. I am the eldest and the firstborn son of matter. So the first being in this physical existence is what? New, the consciousness. My soul is the gods, who are the eternal souls. It means they're here forever. This deals with the blue, and I'm going to get more into that very soon. The blue of the Netzer, new, and of Hay, or what's being called eternity today. I am the creator of darkness, who maketh his dwelling place in the limits of the regions of heaven. So before, what we call dark out here where I'm at now, and probably where you're at too, depending what part of the world you are in right now, it gets dark. You can't see in some parts, right? Especially if the moon's not out. It's very hard to see. Well, according to the ancestors here, Nu created that type of experience prior to even existing. So I'm wondering what's going on prior to space that we see right now. Could it be light, a land of light? I am the creator of darkness, who maketh his dwelling place in the limits of the regions of heaven. I cause darkness in the limits of the sky, and at my will I come unto the boundaries thereof. And the worm that hideth therein, my soul and the soul of my body are the Uwajit. Your perception is based on your consciousness, and your consciousness is what opens these quote-unquote portals or wormholes The ancestors knew all this. The doorway is within your consciousness. We're going to get into that very soon, too. The doorway is you, is us, is you, is me, is us. The door is always open. The door, you ever hear the door of opportunity? It's always open to us. It's just hidden because we're not aware of it at that moment. So this place is unlimited too, just like the dream state. New and who? The divine connection. I didn't even know I was going to do that. New and who? New and who? The divine connection. New or noon holds up the boat of our consciousness. There's a whole nother class. This is new holding up one of the boats, one of the many boats of Ra, which symbolize our consciousness, was Kepler rising in the middle. And then on either side is what's known as the Kemenu, but the Greeks call it the Ogdod. And I may do a class on that very, 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 very soon. It may even be my next one. The Kemenu, the 8 Kemenu, the elemental 8 netters and netterettes that are in the company of Tahuti. Very important to tap into them. Very important. You don't know anything about them, just, man, watch this and just do your best trying to tap into them because they're the key holders to these doors of opportunities within our consciousness. New. New means to will something, a thought, intention, care for something. New, or you might see Nini or Nenu or Nunu. They're all new. The deified primeval water whence everything came. So right here, according to the Medu Netter, everything came from water. Everything begins as a subconscious thought process within the dark confines of our minds. Nothing comes to light until we are consciously aware of its existence. I didn't know of Asaba Tahuti before I made my journey out here. In order for me to make the journey out here, I had to go through some serious pain. If I never went through that pain, this might not be happening right now. Just something to think about. And sometimes, even when we are awake, we are still asleep to the possibilities and opportunities that are all around us. Let me say it again. Sometimes when we are awake, like right now, we are still asleep to the possibilities and opportunities that are all around us. This goes back to sometimes the less you say is better, and just letting your thoughts hit the electromagnetic sphere, which is called Earth, and let it do its job, stay out of its way. So one of the boats, they call it the boat of midday. All the boats correlate with one another, but the Tamahu labeled this as midday, dawn to midday. This is called the Antit or Anet boat, okay? And it's dealing with consciousness. It's dealing with the light of our consciousness. And the ant, the original word for ant meant to know, to perceive. You see the fish there. It's dealing with water. See that? See the fish? Dealing with water. It's dealing with the papyrus, the thoughts, this lesson you're being taught, the Medu Netter classes, the interaction with the brothers here. All plays a part in achieving what we really desire and want from our perception. It changes our perception. Then we have the quantum string here from Neath. We have the feminine energy, the birthing process of life itself, of all our creations, the bread loaf. And then we have the feet in action or motion, meaning nothing exists without energy, and energy is constantly taking action. So don't listen to Ahati when he says take action. Listen to yourself. Sound, in good condition, to be well, to get better. Okay? Studies have also shown that a thirsty brain is a less efficient one. With dehydrated participants, brains requiring more oxygen to perform a task than brains requiring more oxygen to perform a task than hydrated ones. So meaning the more water you drink, the less you have to depend on your breathing apparatus. Even though we're unconscious of that task, I do notice a difference when I drink more water than when I don't. I feel tired and sluggish. So this is from here's what happens to your body in brain if you don't stop drinking. It's from the Science Direct article. So beyond your water. The oot means brain. It's a meta word for brain. Start looking at the symbol in the middle here, the spiral symbol. The oot means brain. Let's go deeper. I would love to do class participation, but I got so much going for you tonight. I have to go through this. So the oot, but I'm always open to talk to somebody if they want to reach out to me after this class. So the oot means to shoot out fire. The oot means to shoot out fire. See that? The utut inu. The utut inu. Start paying attention to this symbol right here in the middle also. The utut inu means shooters forth of water. Well, I don't have time to read the article here, but in National Geographic, star found shooting water bullets. Star found shooting water bullets from the article June 13, 2011. Bullets, stellar sprinklers may help irrigate cosmos. Okay, so these are great articles to check out about stars shooting out water. Yes. There's abundance of new in the universe. The oot represents our brain and its neurons firing information across our bodies and throughout the universe we live in. Because what we think affects our actions and our actions affect others. Similar to how water operates, twisting and turning throughout life, our perceptions and images of ourselves and others change as well. And it's okay. Today I might like Ani, tomorrow I might hate him. It's just, that's what it is. And people that know this, they don't get up in their feelings. They know this. That's how this existence is built. It's built off of our perception. So, similar to how water operates, twisting and turning throughout life, our perceptions and images of ourselves and others change as well. I actually recommend change. And it doesn't matter what I recommend, because the pain comes when change has to force you into doing something. Because the universe is always going to choose itself over us first. Just remember that. The universe is going to choose itself over you and I first. Our ancestors overstood this. In my counting, and I have counted. If anybody wants to see these stats, just hit me up. Hit me up, and I will give this to you. This is a bold statement. Our ancestors overstood this over 50,000. I put 50,000, but my counting is more than that. 50,000 plus years ago. Not 3,000, not 10,000, 50,000. Because think in a conscious way. The consciousness has existed way longer than that. We'll take a brief detour to make some connections between Nu and the Netter Hu. This is Hu right here, where I'm circling. This is where it gets really interesting. So I suggest if you have a recording device, you set it, because this is where the your desires start, quote unquote, manifesting. I hate that term, but I just use it for here. Another meaning for the Medu Netter word Ut is to write or engrave strong names. But before we answer that, why is Hu important to us? So we have Nu, we have Mu, and we have Hu. Who? Why is Hu important to us? Everybody's riding on the same ship of consciousness together. Nobody's arguing and bickering and quarreling. There's nothing wrong with arguing because they have debate. Arguing is actually healthy. That's a whole nother class. It's the quarreling and bickering over foolishness and pettiness. Okay, so Hu means, again, Hu is also a title for the Nile god or happy. So Hu is also dealing with water. The Hu is the watery mass where everything came from. The Hu is the god of the sense of taste. He sprang from the blood of the phallus of Ra, because you can't taste, you can't sense anything without information from the consciousness that precedes the information, which is your DNA. And as his sister pointed out to me recently, which I wasn't even quote unquote conscious or aware of this, till the sister pointed out this opportunity to me, which was, if you look at what's known as the flax symbol in the WHO, it sort of looks like a DNA strand coiling up the pochette or the spine. The light spine, which is now being erroneously called the Kundalini. But yes, WHO is very important, is on the same boat as Osset, as Tahuti, as Kepara, as us in the back here, because we don't ride shotgun. We don't ride shotgun. Just use that term loosely. We don't ride up front. We let the netters do what they got to do. And but we see why it's important, because without our DNA, I'm not here talking to you right now. I'm not even here. Where is anybody else teaching you stuff like this that you can apply tonight if you want? Who also means, excuse me, who also means naked. The etymology or eti of naked is the adjective bare. Bare means to be unclothed. However, going deeper, it comes from the Proto-Indo-European bohoso or hoso, which means to be complete in itself. Who means naked? Let's take a look. Let's just soak in this picture. This doesn't put a smile on your face, man. Or female, it doesn't put a smile on your face. I don't think these teachings will help you. I don't know what will, but this is complete. This is what completeness looks like. Looking at a physical, healthy baby, no one would assume that anything is wrong with him. Matter of fact, just from looking at the picture, he may make a smile and feel good within this moment. He's uncovered, nothing to hide. As in birth, such is death to the false personality we carry as a people. If you see brothers or sisters from now on arguing, infighting, and that's what their platform is based on, that's what their quote-unquote purpose or reason for being is for, that's how they're making, I can see if you're making money off that, yes, okay. But that you could tell that's somebody's lifestyle, because they never change up. They never switch up from that. They're always in that gruff, argumentative mind state or manner. Are they really teaching you what you want to know about our ancestral way of life and how to even affect and change yours for the better? This picture can do more than all of those teachers on YouTube that are doing that. Because what this picture does is resonate deep within us a feeling of accomplishment, joy, satisfaction, and what's being called completeness. When things feel good within us, that's when the real hekau or magic happens. And sometimes all it takes is a beautiful picture like this. You just stare into his eyes. It's hypnotic, actually. It's actually hypnotizing me right now. If you stare long and hard at his beautiful eyes, he doesn't know about a matrix. He doesn't know about how he's going to have to struggle or fight or get a job or feel pain. All he knows is what he sees. Was it tsunami? The great waves can be moved. The giant waves, can move at speeds of up to 500 miles an hour and reach heights of hundreds of feet. This is in Japan, 2018. Devastating. And this is powerful, crushing, beating force, beating down on the shore, just beating everything in its path with no remorse, not in its feelings. The who he knew, because the vowels are interchangeable, so it could be the who he knew or the who knew. The hui nai or the who knew means a beater. A beater. So the warriors, or the brothers that were in fights defending Kemet, or what's being called now, quote unquote, police, the magi, right? The defenders of the nation, the fighters, the beaters, the ones that would beat other nations or beat out Isfet from the nation were called the who knew. Who knew? Now, let's get to that instrument that I was saying before, this one here. The nuwa comes from the uwa. The uwa means to think, command with your heart. Why would Ampu, which is right here on the standard, there's a whole nother lesson why there's a standard. This standard developed the modern English term standards to have standards, boundaries. This is what it rests on because it's a form of ma'at, and it's something that the ancestors used to carry around. Like you see flags. That's why the Tomhu now, when they walk around with flags, you could use World War II as a reference. When they walk around with their flags, they actually got it from Kemet because they called those flags standards too. And that comes from this standard because we used to walk around like this, representing our ideology, our thought process, our previous ancestors that came and taught us this information and built our own standards off of it. It was also a weapon because the weapon is right here. Kemet was not soft. You know how you hear in rap, hip hop, oh, brothers are soft, yo. Brothers are soft. Kemet was far from being soft. Kemet was the only spiritual way of life that I come across, or spiritual teachings that I come across from Christianity to Buddhism that was never soft, and that their gods represented their weapons. Their weapons were their netters. Makes sense now? A tool of Ampu. The new, this tool here was called the new. That's why it's in front here, right after the English new. That's why it's emphasized right here. This is the new. An axe, a sword. It's an axe going into something, chopping someone's head off, chopping some wood, chopping anything. It goes back to the netter, and it goes back to our greatness. It's called the new. See that? The new was an axe. Here's the connection between DNA, or that was the connection between DNA, Hugh, water consciousness, new. The key to open this door is within the Upesh, the dream realm of infinite possibility. Did you know you're in that realm now? The people of the Nile Valley did not see separation in our nature, but unity. Let me say that again. Right now, you're in the Upesh. You don't have to wait till you go to sleep. It's just you're out of the way, or we're out of the way. I am including myself in this. I'm not separating myself like I'm some pillar or I'm floating on these clouds here and I'm looking down on all of you lowly people. No, it took me a long time to grasp that. Like, what? Say what? Hey, you're in the dream realm right now, but your ego, and listen, the ego just means the I or the I am. It's also the meta word look. So it's not bad because obviously, and there's a whole nother lesson with the good and the bad. It's all confusion. Nothing is good or bad. Let me just put it that way. Your ego is not good or bad. It's just there. However, the ego is here to self-protect us, even when it's too extreme. So we, in the dream, the reason why we can dream and actually do stuff in our dream or the upesh is because now the ego is asleep. It's out of the way. This physicality, the physical you is now out of the way, which is what we really want. Our ancestors knew how to make it out of the way constantly if they wanted to. That's what we're teaching now to you. And once it's out of the way constantly, that's when you get everything you desire. I said that. You can quote me on that. You get everything you desire. That's why those of you, just like me in the past, that are getting lots of things you don't want, well, you might have to look in the mirror and check yourself like I did. The new also means to look and observe, right back to the eye. Now, if I can't zoom in, but if you're looking close here, this arrow is pointing to what? An eyebrow. We're back to the brow of the water. The brow of the water is new. It is your consciousness. That eyebrow, Saba talked about this a little bit on Friday with the Wajibi being the fractal eye, dealing with the breakdown, the Mandelbrot fractal of the universe. Part of the eye is the eyebrow. Do you know that eyebrow in the meta netter, the brow means to think. It means thoughts. So the brow part of the wajit or of the eye is the thoughts. And once you got that, you can open the door to the tuwa, which is also the new. But it doesn't stop there. Because the new has to have the female energy backing them, and that would be the huit. So the mate of your DNA or who is huit, which is the doorkeeper goddess. Which one of the symbols is what? Is the Upesh tuning fork. Now, some people might say, well, that's a drill, Ahati, because it has that looks like the drill, what they use, the drills, the physical drills they use in Kemet. It does, but why would they put a physical cow's head on a drill? Wouldn't that make it kind of hard to turn the drill? No. It's dealing with the tuning of ourselves and the water that's inside of our bodies that is right now resonating on a certain frequency. Now, I don't know what your frequency is, but if you're in a calm, relaxed state, everything's chill, you're content, very little fear, or if not none, is existing anymore. Now you're vibrating on the Schumann resonance, which is between 7 and 8 hertz. You're now in tune with Geb and the earth can now work with you without you physically having to force things to happen. And this is one of the great things I learned from Saba. Now, I'm not saying just sit on your couch from now on and expect things to happen. No, of course not. But a lot of things resolve themselves if we just stay out of the way. And I know it's hard. At least it was for me. So again, Ninette, there's that tool again, was a concert of Nu or Noon. And she's also a Kemenu goddess. This goes back to the Kemenu. Ancestors are great. They just keep connecting things all the time. This is how life was. They're just constant connections. The Nini Uk reading created by Saba Tahuti, Amenhotep Ra, has a much deeper meaning than the one I will give here. Due to time purposes, it would be in your best interest to ask him why we say this term to each other. So here's the Nini from the Nini Uk. It means to greet, to welcome, to do homage. And Nini could also be Nunu. It also comes from Nu. Like most other glyphs in the Medu Netter, they constantly reciprocate one another. There's a reciprocity, such as the Ni or the Nu to the left here, representing the waves, vibrations of Tahuti. Why is it representing the waves and vibrations of Tahuti? Because here we have the Kem bird, which is also known as the Ibis or the Tahuti bird. See that? Ani says, I am echo of Tahuti. And this is what he's speaking about. Okay, I promise we're almost done. This information is vital. Because I talk to people, they want utterances and they want to know things, and I'm giving them to you here. I'm giving them to you right now. So this is the last part. We can go right through it. Here we have the R. The R is the mouth symbol for Ra. Creates the word Ra. Here's the N. The N is the wave ripple symbol. Pretty simple. It is the Nu. Together, they create the Ren, which is the divine name. Remember back to previous slides where I'm talking about the strong name. The strong name. Here's the divine name. The Ren Pet, or the Ren P, means to become young. There's a whole nother teaching if Saba wants to teach on this. To become young. Not grow old. Just because you're growing doesn't mean you have to grow old. That is a self-sabotaging program. Grow young. I see sisters that are in their 60s that look younger than sisters in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. How are they doing that? And if you're interested, maybe you should ask. Are they on their water? Water of the youth. I may teach on this. There is a fountain of youth. And yes, it deals with water. The Tamu took that from us and refashioned and formed it. But there is a teaching on the fountain of youth. And here we're dealing with a new symbol again in the OOP. Makaru True Voice. I can't take credit for this picture. This is from Saba Tahuti from long, long ago when I first met him. This is the Makaru, okay? This is the Makaru. As you see, it's the boat of consciousness here. Beautiful. Did you know the etymology of the word strong or strong name is the word tight? The Pi root of tight is watertight, dense, genuine, solid, worthy. To be firm. What else means to be firm? What is something that we stand on that makes us firm? Ma'at. Hail Ma'at. And Ma'at is in the position, if you Google Hey, which is being compared because to our ancestors, nothing was separate. One goddess or one god, we're able to mesh with each other and be connected with each other, and therefore not only be called Nu, but be called Hey. And therefore you see Ma'at in the Hey position, one of the Hey positions, the symbol of eternity. Both arms raised, symbolizing the Ka position or energy rising. This is an old, I'm not going to read this, but this is an old gift that Saba gave me when I was brand new. It goes back to the ant, the ship of consciousness. And I'm showing that to show that I keep all the notes, all my notes archived, every single one of them. I can pull up any one that I need, and it's a great tool. This is that same boat, except on a Soon painting. Remember, to know is to perceive. We may look at things throughout our day and not know what they symbolize and mean. When we are taught correctly with beneficial information, things that appear to be hidden now come to light. Let me say that again. When you have the information that you're looking for, or that your Ba, Ka, your Ku, your intelligence needs, things all of a sudden come to light or you see them more clear. Hence the mesh connect boat above. And I don't have time to go into the details of this. We have to keep it moving. As you can see, one of the titles for the snake is, or serpent, is the mess, which is dealing with light. This is dealing with light consciousness. If you have questions, write them down. And again, Ant means light. And beautiful sunset of the Nile River. That is so beautiful. Better than anything California has. And of course, the Mescanet boat was what? The boat of the setting sun. Few bonus slides. New state of water. Strange six-sided molecule. It's a life science article I recommend. That I'm going to show what is relationship to. We'll kind of speed it through this because I don't want to make this too long. It's already going pretty long. The Great Pyramids, or the Kus, the Great Kus, the Kuas. Water's pyramid shape confirmed. This is from Laboratory News. Researchers at Johannes Gutenberg University have confirmed the original model of the molecular structure of water. So the molecular structure of water is the same as the Kus, or pyramid. Is there a coincidence? The Golden Triangle. A golden triangle, as many of us have heard, also called the Sublime Triangle, is an isosceles triangle in which the duplicated sides is a golden ratio to the base sides. You'll see this a lot in the MetaNetter too. The base angles are 72 degrees each, which is the number of Tahuti. And the same as the water molecule ratio is too, as the golden Ganam or Namam. I don't have really time to get in depth in that. The Lagrangian spiral. The golden triangle is used to form some points of the logarithmic spiral, right? The golden spiral that we all know. It's a self-similar spiral curve that often appears in nature. Symbol for infinity, right? For eternity. And we see it all throughout. This is just one instance, but we see it all throughout Nu, where everything came. Golden triangles inscribed with the logarithmic spiral right here. Okay? See that? So the ancestors knew this prior. They didn't call it by these exact names, but they knew that it had to do with something that is created repetitively throughout nature for eternity. Almost done. One more connection. I lied. There's actually a couple because the energy was flowing within me and I just kept adding on. So there's just a little bit more left, but it's very important. So again, the vowels, I repeat, the vowels are interchangeable. So you see shot. Shot could also be shet. So shot, no, not shit, but shot. Or shet, excuse me. So shot is the body. This is the symbol for a womb right here. Shot means the body. It means the emission to the body. Shot also means something decreed or ordained by God. In order to decree or ordain or fix a custom or do anything, you have to what? You have to speak it, right? You hear this term speaking into existence. You have to speak. You have to have a sound frequency happen. You have to have some sort of tone coming out of your mouth. That also is shot. Shot also is what? Shot is sometimes called the shet. If you look this up, it might say the shet, but it's the shot too. That spiral was originally called the shot. It wasn't called the gold or the shet. It wasn't called the number 100. The number 100 comes from the shot or the shet. There it is. See that? What else is the shot or shet? The shet means to read and recite. There it is again, right there. The shet is also where everything began in the vagina, and that is the shet. See that? Dealing with the quantum string of eternity. Okay, finally, the meta-netter and utterances to benefit us. Real quick, I'm just going to go right through these. I'm not really going to break them down. This is from my papyrus of Adi Faulkner edition that I highly recommend. And it's plate 8. It's Nu's journey through the electric current of Lightland. Yes, electric current of Lightland. Let's get into it. There's Nu. So if you buy the book, this is my book over here. If you buy the book, underneath the papyrus, it's going to show descriptions, and it's going to say haze chaos. It doesn't mean chaos like the chaotic mind or something negative. This is just a term that Tamahu likes using to throw us off. If you see Nu, looks a little like hay, but you see the current. You see the current, and it's blue. You see the lake of natron. The lake of natron. Natron is a salt mineral. A salt mineral. What is salt? Salt is composed of sodium. What is sodium? Sodium contains ions. What is ions? Ions is electricity. The electrical currents of the universe is what's actually animating me and my body as I'm speaking to you right now. And the ancestors knew this because there's abundance of it in the Nile Valley. Excuse me. It's also the river has a name. And it's the Waja-Ur. The Waja-Ur, which was the name for what? The ocean. I said that earlier. It's Mu. The lake of Ma'at or Ma'et. Ma'at and Rastal. Rastal is a great, great topic to get into. Rastal is where we go when we dream. We can go now, but it's easier to go when you dream because, again, like I said, the nook or the ego is asleep. That is Rastal. Okay, and you see Ani here. He's on these bricks. It looks like bricks, but this is charged water. This is the subatomic realm. He's going to enter over here, and in order to do that, he needs to be on his water. He needs to be perceiving his existence not only in this realm, but also in the Upesh realm. And only then can he consistently do what needs to be done in order to finally get there when he physically leaves his body. And I ain't gonna lie, that takes tremendous work for some of us. Maybe not for you, but it does for me. Really quick, just a couple lines that are very important to know. This is a long chapter. It's chapter 17. That's what they call it of this plate. The plumes on his head are his eyes. The plumes are the two Neteret or goddesses, which is Nebhet and Osset. Nebhet is usually slept on a lot. I wouldn't sleep on her. I would begin researching her, but she's not mentioned a lot. Osset is because of the relationship with Asar, but Nebhet is very important too. But these are the two plumes of Osiris. I destroy what was done wrongly against me. I dispel what was done evilly against me. So the question is, when I was in my land, I came into my city. What is it? It is the horizon, the Herakuti of my father Atum. I destroyed what was done wrongly against me. I dispel what was done evilly against me. This is very important. I don't know anybody's story in T.O.M death. I know some things about the brothers on the panel, but I don't know their inner darkest secrets, and nor do they have to tell me. Nobody has to reveal that to anyone if they choose not to. But we all have secrets. If you're being Ma'at, you're getting honest with yourself in that mirror, we all have secrets. And I'm here to tell you, those secrets do not dictate your journey into the quote-unquote afterlife unless you allow them to. Everything is dependent on what you allow to exist or not, within and without. And I'm here to tell you, those that may be suffering, that you can throw those in the trash tonight. And if you need help, you don't have to get it from me. You can go to Sabbath Ahudi and request to speak with him or any of the brothers on the panel. You don't have to go to me, Sabbath Ahudi, or any of the brothers on the panel, and get the help you need, because that's what we're here for. It says, what does it mean? I love these questions because it's like something we would say. What does this mean? It means that the navel string of Ani will be cut. It means whatever is attaching us to stuff that's blocking that flow within us so we can't get what we desire in the physical realm will eventually be cut. Once we realize that that isfet, that evil, is not who we really are. That who we are is the light consciousness, the new, Ma'at. All the ill which was on me has been removed. You see that? All the ill has been removed. That's what some people will call quote unquote hope. I don't believe in hope, but because I believe if you're taking action, you're putting in the work, you'll get exactly what you want. Even if it consciously doesn't seem like it is what you really want, you got exactly what you were vibing on. You got it. So I truly believe all will be removed. Yep. Okay, so much there. I can't go through the rest. So this is the Purim Haru, page 173. I got one more after this, and then we're done. Hang in there with me. Okay, so I'm showing this because I live this. Before I go to sleep tonight, I'm going to do this utterance. I've been doing this utterance for 2 years now. And sometimes there needs to be a change that happens, and I drop this, and I'll pick up a new utterance. But I always have utterances flowing. Sometimes when I don't know about an utterance, I need a specific utterance made. Somebody will make an utterance for me. And I still say that same utterance. And that person knows who he is. So always replace your name with Ani's, because it's personal to you. So Ahati, I usually like to do the meta-netter part for my students, but it's not enough time. Ahati, because I do the meta-netter part. It's good to state it's in the meta-netter. If you don't know, take the meta-netter class, because the tone is actually doing something more powerful than when you're reading it in English. But I don't have time right now. But my students know. Ahati triumphant. I have not gone into the house of destruction. The house of destruction could be anything from your destructive thoughts to the destructive ways of this society. I have not come to an end. And I love this when I say this at night. I have not known it. So this is all about living in Ma'at. When you live in Ma'at, you live in truth. You don't focus on Isfet anymore. Yes, Isfet is still there. The chaotic mate is still there. The chaotic children are still there. The chaotic boss is still there. Whatever is causing you frustration, anguish, despair, whatever it is at this moment is still there. The only difference is that you're not focused on that. Because as we've been told by self-help gurus and all these people in the past, it's true though. Whatever we focus on is magnified. That's how beautiful the universe is. The universe is just giving, taking. And it's a constant circle, hence the circle of life. So if you don't focus on something, truth be told, more than likely it's not going to exist in your reality. I'm telling you the truth. That's why for me, I have to be very alert because the things that I focus on come like this to me now. Where before they take a lot longer, and that is a I was gonna say blessing. That is a great thing for people that are brand new because you don't want your thoughts right now to come quickly. You don't. You really don't. So it's almost like the universe built in a safeguard to protect us with, and then they start coming quickly once you start understanding the ancestral language. Because you're ready now. You only attract thoughts that you want, for the most part. So it says, Ahati triumphant, I have not gone into the house of destruction. I have not come to an end, the great saying, I have not known it. Only focus on what you want from this point on. I am Ra. You are Ra, coming forth from new. The soul that is divine, the creator of his members. You create your reality. Abomination to me is sin. I change this to a chaotic nation. Abomination to me is Western society, chaotic nation, the matrix, whatever you want to call it. I don't believe in sin. Abomination to me is a chaotic nation. Not do I look upon it. I don't look at this nation. I don't obey this nation. I don't follow this nation. Not do I cry against right and truth. I don't care what other people are saying about me. Well, that's not true. I'm not going to lie. That's not true. I do care. Certain individuals that are very important in my life, like myself, I do care about. I do care what they think of themselves because it's detrimental. You have to be the first one to think of yourself in a positive way. It's not up to me or Saba or anybody else. It's you that has to think that way. And then whoever you hold dear. So that's not true. You do care about others, what they think, but not to the point that, hey, I'm trying to teach this person my aunt and they're not following what I'm saying. Or these people are doing this and they're not following my aunt, but we are. Don't try staying that too long. Just focus on my aunt. Let her do her job. I live in it. Yes, we live within the Wajid. This is part of our affirmation, we say. I am Hu. See that? I'm the DNA. I'm the blood of Ra. Never does he fail in my name. He never fails with the frequency as long as I allow my blood or my DNA or this information to resonate within my own frequency. That is the name of my soul or Ba, of my energy. I have created myself with Nu in my name. With Nu in my name. Of Kepara. I come into being in it in the form of Ra. I am the master of light. Ra comes from the sound in light frequency, your Ren, which is Ra and Nu combined, that resides in the Neter-Kurt or subatomic realm called Lightland. Our vibration or daily mindset is what determines our destiny back into this very realm. I say this every night, almost every night. Some nights I'm too tired. And last one, my name is not setting. This is page 181 of the Param Haru. My name is not setting. It means your vibration will never not exist. My name is soul. You are. That's who all of us are. We are our vibration, our frequency in the moment, which always changes. So whoever you are now doesn't have to be who you are from 10 minutes from now. And it's very hard in this physical existence because it looks very real. So we think that, and then people tell you can never change, but that's a lie. I'm living proof. My name is not setting. My name is soul. Creator of new. You hear that? Again. Creator of new. Making his seat in the Neter-Kurt or the underworld. Not is seeing my nest. The nest is talking about your throne. It's talking about what is your standard. If you always look in the pictures, if you have pictures of the Neteru, the goddesses and gods in your home hanging, they're always on this thin sheet of board or line or strip, that is the ma'at. The ma'at, that is the standard. And the throne or your seat is always sitting on that. Everybody sits on that. And fittingly, they call it a nest. Because that's where we get our substance from, what we stand on. It's not cracked. My egg isn't cracked. My satut, my image is not cracked because I have strong standards I stand on. It says that I am the Lord of millions of years. I change this to never mature. I am the year. I am the time and space that Hay is representing. See that? And Hay is up in what? His arms are up in the Ka position, signifying his energy lasts for millions of years. Millions of years is just another way to say eternity. The Ari Nai, I have made my throne, my nest, my seat, my standards in pets. So they exist in your consciousness before they happen out here in the physical realm. I come down because when we're in our mind and our thoughts, what are we doing? We're daydreaming. And what are dreams synonymous with? Leaving our body, flying up above our body, going up towards what? Pet. So I come down. I have to come back down because the physical realm, the consciousness, the people that exist on the physical realm consciousness are in this illusion. They don't understand they don't understand what you are overstanding now, which is that you can tap into this at any time, your mind at any time during the course of your day, and change whatever you need to change for the better of you. I come down to earth of Geb or Seb and I destroy my defects. I love that. Again, it's always up to me. Is there something I don't like about myself, or even something I don't like about that's in somebody else? I got destroyed in me first. Boy, was that hard to swallow. If somebody's complaining and I don't like that person complaining, and that somehow that person's attracted to me, that means that I complain too much, and I got to calm that down. And that's literally something I'm working on now, a secret. We're very transparent here. The soul is your sound in light frequency creating your life. Whether in the subatomic or physical realms, the defects is created here on Geb, and heaven is back to the land of light where peace and contentment exists if you know it. Just a caveat. If you're on the frequency of Tahuti and the Netter and the Tiru, yes, this is true. If you are in the Isfet and chaotic mind, you are going to be eaten, you're going to be swallowed up, you are going to be in the abyss, and you don't even believe in any of this, so you're just going to be floating forever. Is that what you want? But the great news is the defects stay here in the physical realm. Similar to watching a good movie or being involved, and this is true, just got to go back real quick. This is true because if you notice, people said, oh, when I saw the light at the end of the tunnel in a near-death experience, they always feel a tremendous tranquility or peace, or felt like they didn't have any fears anymore. They weren't even aware of this existence. It just felt great. It felt contentment. That's what it literally is. Similar to watching a movie or being involved in a favorite task. So just think back to doing something that you really love. You don't even recognize time anymore. Because time is what creates the fear and discontent. Think about it. I don't have time to pay this bill. I don't have time to make a call to this person to try to clear some things up. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to join. I don't have time to do service. I don't have time to give. I don't have time. Time doesn't exist. What does is Ma'at in your consciousness. So, thank you for your support and thank you for your attendance and continued support of the T.O.M organization. Hail Ma'at, hail victory. And this is the original Henu I used to show with Osiris. And yes, that is it. Peace.
Oh, Chap, peace, good brother.
Very
Peace.
Peace, brother. That was excellent. That was an excellent presentation. Y'all see what we doing over here at the teachings of my aunt? Y'all know we not getting 3 hours of straight facts. Straight. Hey, 2 hours for that, Ahati, brother. I definitely appreciate them utterances because yeah, I don't know in the chat, guys. That's that abracadabra right there. Hati just dropped the magic on us. 2 hours for that excellent teacher. And I'm not gonna hold us, brother, because that was a lot, and I'm gonna let the other brothers speak. But 2 hours for that excellent breakdown as usual. I know who your teacher is, Ahati. Peace and love.
Go ahead, good brother Menkhu.
Peace. I can tell you had it's like you gave birth on that one, brother. It's like you had a lot. That's a 10-pound baby that came out right there. You can tell you had that on your heart and in your cause.
That's one of the secrets, brother.
For a while. So Tua, for you for excellent teaching and a presentation. I really love it when you brothers present. You have the knowledge, and then there's the clarity, and then the visuals that go with the delivery of the teaching is, in the hood, we say a double bubble. So that's really beautiful when you're teaching and it's matching in different dimensions. So I really like, there was one note that I took. I'll be short because I know we're trying to move on because the teaching was lengthy. But when you did the Huet and the new and talked on the Tuet and the connection between the DNA memory and water consciousness, that was priceless. That was awesome. I'll be quiet. Tua, hail to you for your dedication, your guidance, your courage. Peace and love, peace and light to you, Ahati, for your leadership.
Set the stream on fire with that. Sure, everyone who's gonna go to sleep tonight will wake up in your upesh with those teachings. Wow, that was phenomenal, brother. Very, very grateful for what you brought forth for us and teaching about the mu. And of course, the water is so important, and you touched it on so many different ways. With the electrons, memory, you touched on it on so many different ways. So Tua for that, and doing what you're doing, just what we don't see or present for the people, what you're doing behind the scenes for yourself to be able to show up as a Ahati Maat for us is I'm super thankful for you and what you do for us. So Henu to you, Ahati Maat, peace and love to you, good brother, for that excellent teaching. And I'll show some support that you received for your teaching here. So yes, if you guys enjoyed that and you enjoyed that, be sure to show your reciprocity for this brother and what he brought forth. You can see the love that went into that. So support the teachings of Ma'at, because you're not going to find this nowhere else other than what's an echo of the Tahuti pod class. So, all right, I will. Let me get some. Here we go. All right. We had to make it quiet so y'all can really take in. His brother said, "No music when I'm teaching. I need them to hear me."
Now he took us back to the 80s with that music.
Master K said, "Profound lessons. Thank you, Hale." Robert Williams says, "My head is spinning in a good way." Shout out to you, Robert Williams.
Before you go on, let me just check some of these to recognize the people that were talking in the chat real quickly. That's funny. Okay, I'm just going to start somewhere because it's a lot of comments. Okay, Master K said the Vedic system vision was called the all-pervading waters. The first man to come out of the waters is called Manu. Interesting. Very interesting. Angela Gates says, I see a lot of videos of people hanging off the edge of that waterfall. Interesting. Yeah. Because the tour guide goes on to say that, yeah, the suicides and all that. That's to be expected. Let's see, just a few more. I saw one here that intrigued me. Okay, so Sharika put, wow, we are born naked, aka we're born complete. And then Master K said, news associated with the elemental god. Yes, absolutely. And they're very important too. Okay, I'm just gonna stop there because we got a time frame. We're trying to stay in some Ma'at orders. So, but thank you, everybody.
Yes, to if anyone would like to take a second to come up and give this brother your praises or speak some words, the link is posted. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Come in and say a few words for this brother. All right. So, as we continue to bring forth this powerful information for you, all we ask is that you support us in whatever way that you deem that's necessary for you. And we absolutely love and praise our supporters because it's so important. It's a reciprocity system that allows the energy to continue to flow, bring forth this information. It brings forth motivation, inspiration. We see that the people want it. There's so many times when you give thanks to someone that may not even ask for it, then you come back around a few weeks later and be like, hey, did you read that? They'll be like, no, I didn't read it. Or no, I didn't utilize it. So many times, you give things away to people, but you come to learn that you only give what is what's wanted. And this is how we maneuver and are able to stay in Ma'at. So peace and love to all the great supporters. We'll start here with Primordial Thought 9. This good brother here, he says,
Nice.
Tua Ahati Maat. May Ma'at always keep you balanced. Since $30. Tua for your generous support. Wow. Image. Tua. All right. Peace and love to you, Primordial Thought, which was what a lot of the teachings was on today, your name. So you can take that with you. All right. Okay, next we have the good brother Robert Williams Jr. 999 for the thrill of the chase. This brother was loving the teaching.
Thrill of the chase. Brother's chasing.
Yes, sir. All right, Tua to you. All right, next we have Big Vapes. This is a wonderful supporter, a Teachings of Ma'at member. You want to join us, our membership, just go to teachingsofma'at.org and send us a message. Like you want to join the movement. So shout out to you, Big Vapes. You are very consistent in your support. And it is very much appreciated. All right, let's see. Next we have this beautiful sister here, Kato. She sends $18. Says, "Tua, enjoyed this brilliant class." So Tua to you for your support and for everything that you do behind the scenes as well. So shout out to you. Peace and love to you. All right, next. Next, we have Terry Patty. $20. Excellent presentation, Ahati Maat. Will be watched.
Terry Patty sounds like an Irish gangster or something. I'm Terry Patty. From the Departed.
All right. So Tua for your support. All right. The good brother Jay Kirkland.
Jay Kirkland. Wasn't gonna mention it, but to Jay Kirkland because he's one of the first ones to make a purchase of the fragrance oil. So that's on the way soon, brother. I'm just waiting on the labels, and it'll be sent to you within probably the end of this month.
All right. Yes, he says Nefer class. Hinu, Nu, Netter, Ahati Maat.
Hinu.
All right. And let's see. All right, let's see. We have one more here. All right.
Scribe, that's a fire background to y'all brothers.
Oh, yeah. Ahati motivated me, and I had to go get what they call Lake Victoria.
Yeah, I see y'all brothers. I love it.
All right.
Hey, I could just hate on y'all. We're 17 people in the chat. I could just tell y'all how much y'all backgrounds suck. Maybe we'll get more. Create the chaos.
You suck.
To you, brothers. Awesome background.
All right. All right. Let's see. All right. So this good brother here, Stephen E. Sends an extra tip. Sends $8.72 per tip. Ahati. Valuable information.
Good brother. So for your consistency to the meta class too.
Absolutely. All right. So that's the support that we have received in. Hinu to all the great supporters. Big Vapes, Cotto, Jay Kirkland, Nito Campbell, Primordial Thought, Robert Williams, Stephen E., and Terry Patty. So yeah, we appreciate you all so much. All right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
Sharika said she would jump on, but she's driving. That's okay. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. So yeah, this was an excellent class. It's definitely one of the ones you're going to have to play through the week. So many different sources this brother gave for us to go back in and study and examine and apply my eye to what he brought forth. absolutely fire. So yeah, we will definitely be having some wonderful Upesh tonight. He gave you those tones from the Perm Haru, which are so powerful. I personally, one of the pages I read every night is the page 88 and 89, the chapter of Giving the Heart in the Netzer Kurt. And these tones are so powerful to read before you go to sleep. They're really to take this with you, fall asleep reading it. You'll experience like the great brother said, we are in the Upesh. But once you really are free of the physical body and the frequency of the matrix that creates our perception here, and you're able to be free of that, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So, if we're able to experience a part of that here now, just imagine what it was like to have Ma'at surrounding you at all times. And it's mind blowing to really just think about that, to put yourself in the consciousness of our ancient ancestors and what they were thinking about, what their thoughts were, and what they took with them when they was able to eject from this physical body. It's absolutely mind bending to think about what's possible in that aspect. Oh, good brother Ahati, I would like for you to post your Facebook link so people can click that and get to that.
Okay.
All right, we got some more support in, so I'll gather those together.
Everybody that's listening, here's my link to get to my fragrances. And right now I just have men's stuff coming out because like Jay Kirkland, which Jay, I might have to drop you some Ma'at money, Ma'at we trust money, because I like your slogan that you said, I just want to smell like Ma'at. So that is very interesting. And right now I'm trying to give the brothers some encouragement with the fragrances to attract that a serious woman that not only do we teach, we don't have to, and I'm not knocking the people that dress a certain way, or I'm not doing that. Don't take it that way, please. But some of us like to smell real good and some of us like to dress nice, and that's okay too. So if any of the brothers are interested out there, I highly recommend my Sesh butter and Kashi butter. Right now, I've been wearing Sesh butter like consistently, just fire, getting compliments on it. And but I also have stuff that you're used to maybe wearing out there from the Tom Who's. So I have Armani, Issey Miyake, Chanel de Jour, and Chanel de Blue, and de Jour Sauvage. Compliments to that. But for Ma'at, I have Sesh butter. It smells like a chalk crisp, think about cooking chocolate chip cookies with a tad of buttery smell to that. And then the other one is the Kashi butter has a great vanilla base to it with the same musky type scent, Egyptian musk type scent. But it's not Egyptian musk. Get yours now. They're really, I have samples if you're interested. I have samples, limited supply of samples. I'm willing to send to you for free so you can get a taste. And then what you like, the smallest bottle is 3s to celebrate the frequencies, the continuous frequencies of our teachings. The $3 bottle is the smallest. And then I have the roller bottle, the normal size bottle like this. That is $6. And then what I've seen most people sell that for is $7, but I'm selling it for $6. So get those quickly. You can contact me through Facebook, email, teachingsamat.org.
Jason Kirkland says, "It's yours, Ahati Maat. The teachings are enough for me."
That's right. Appreciate you, brother. This brother is a young brother that's very excited about our movement and excited to just be my aunt. And he's definitely an example for the younger generations to live by. So peace to you, brother. You're doing great work.
All right. So this last support that we received we once again, we appreciate everyone for the Cash App support, the PayPal support. So I'll show this. This is a new person that I haven't seen support before. And my apologies if I pronounce your name wrong. So Umana Al-Zuma sent $45. It says thanks, or she, I'm not sure. My apologies again. Thanks for the teachings of Ma'at.
Yeah.
To you, and thank you for your generous support and for recognizing Ma'at when you see it and for appreciating it. So shout out to you.
Yeah, thank you, whoever you are. I didn't see you in the chat. Maybe the brothers did. But if you're brand new, we'd love to introduce yourself. You don't have to come on screen with us, but even though you're welcome, but you can always introduce yourself in the chat. We always love getting new supporters.
That's right. Teachingsofma'at.org. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to the best teacher on the internet, Saba Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. Hail Saba Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. Hanu to you, Ahati Maat. Hanu to you, Ani Patah. Hanu to you, Menkhu Ra. Hanu to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's new. Thank you for joining us. Peace and love to everybody in the chat. The link is in the chat if you want to come up and join us and dialogue with us real quick. Before we end it, we appreciate the support. We love the support that we get, and we appreciate all the support. And like Ahati said, if you want to just support, just drop us a line. It's about the energy. These beautiful, beautiful teachings that this brother shared with us tonight is monumental. If you guys know what's going on out here, y'all see what's going on. Hey, listen, y'all see the support versus how many people be in the chat. Listen, we coming for y'all. I know, listen, the lie is not going to be able to withstand the truth. I'm telling you, teachersofma'at.org, y'all already know what it is. Stop playing. We are coming. Y'all see these teachings, man. Hey, Ahati, man, listen, that was monumental, brother. I love the utterances, man. I absolutely love it. I love learning, and I'm excited about Ma'at. I'm like Jay Kirkland, man. That brother always is excited all the time, and that's how I am, because that's how I feel about the truth. So, going once.
Brother, I like what you do at the end, where you're gonna do tonight, where you read a part of what you like from the presentation. You read the meta part. That's I love that.
Hey, look, I'm stuck right now because I got two. I gotta do it though. I gotta do it from my ear, but I gotta do it. So it's all good. Listen, the truth. That's what the truth do. The truth is motivating, guys. You either motivated by the truth or you motivated by the lie. You choose. So the link is in the chat. Come on up real quick and come join us. This was a beautiful, beautiful class. It was pretty long, but the information is necessary given today's climate and what we're dealing with out there. So the link is in the chat. Come on up, dialogue. Tell us what you thought.
Yes, we'll have to shut it down. We're going over time. Give them how's 5 minutes, guys? 5 minutes?
5 minutes? Yeah, we could give them 5 minutes. We got a few people. Sharika says she's driving, but she would jump on.
What about Big Vapes? Is he in the chat?
Big Vapes. Robert Williams said, I'll hit you later.
Big Vapes hasn't been on in a while.
We had the brother that got on Saba's show. last week.
Nahum,
Yeah, Nahum.
he's in the chat.
No, I was just saying that brother was on. That brother was holding it down last week.
Yeah, he's very excited too.
Yes. That's what the truth does. Truth is very motivating, man. Yeah, I'm looking now. I love the utterances. I love when y'all drop them jewels on us. I be picking them up. I'm like Scribe. Scribe be picking up all the little jewels.
Yeah,
I
they're
love
great.
the utterances, man. Menkhu, how the snakes doing, brother?
I have a total of 8 now. I just bought a red tail boa constrictor. He's so big, bro. I had to get a special entrapment made in 7 foot by 3. The width is 3 feet, but it's 7 foot long. My snakes is beautiful. I moved 3 of my snakes in my bedroom, and I'm sleeping like a pharaoh now. My Saba gave me 2 comedic snakes, and then Papa Fu is the scaleless magical one. Y'all was there when y'all got y'all wrens. So I put them in my bedroom because I got my boa constrictor, and I'm sleeping like a pharaoh now with them in my bedroom, bro. So snakes is beautiful. Tua for asking.
Beautiful energy, man. Beautiful. I want a scorpion. I want the scorpion. I want the circuit. I want the Scorpion King.
All right. Well, since no one wants to come up, I guess we'll go ahead and close the show out. This was a long show, packed full of information, very beautiful. So once again, to our great brother Ahati for bringing this level of information for us to consume, this is Hetep. This is food for the Ba, Hetep and Ba. So Tua to you. Peace and love to the great brothers who are consistent with us here on the panel. And we're doing so much for you all behind the scenes and setting up so many things to build opportunity for people who appreciate this information, and for those who want to follow Ma'at and live in Ma'at, where we have so many different ideas flowing and things that we're going to bring forth for you all because you support us. And so be definitely on the lookout for that in the coming time. So I'll give you another reminder, since this is this coming up week is what we'll be doing. The Discord meeting, which is this coming up Thursday, the 25th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Come join to ask questions, to dialogue with us. It's going to be beautiful. The last meeting was absolutely phenomenal. So we look forward to seeing you all, meeting you all, and hearing your tones. So be sure to mark this on your calendar. So therefore you don't miss it. This coming up Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you calculate that for your time zone. All right. So with that being said, new consciousness, beautiful, beautiful presentation. So hopefully you all now have the consciousness of new and are able to attain what this great brother taught. With that being said, peace, love, and light. Hotep Ma'at to all the great people, all the great supporters. Be sure to document, write down your goals that you want to achieve for this coming up week. Read them. Take these tones that the great brother Ahati brought forth. Read that prior to you going to sleep. Wake up, read that to carry that frequency with you through the day. And you will start to see the physical reality around you warp and change to your thoughts. So peace and love, Hotep Ma'at, and everyone have a great, great week.
Hotep, closing words, Ahati?
No. Everybody be
Peace and
safe. Peace.
Menkhu?
Ahati, I saw you put the logo on the on the thumbnail. That's fire. I really love that. I just noticed that. So peace and love to the chat, Tua, for your presence, for your attention, for your reciprocity, and everyone have a wonderful week.
Hotep, peace and love. Teachingsofmaat.org. Sabatuhudi Amahotep Ra, hail to the best teacher on the internet. Y'all know what it is. With that, we're going to end it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody that constantly supports us. That's consistent with the support. Shout out to all the new people. Shout out to everybody that's going to check it out in the future. Y'all see it. We coming. Teachingsofmaat.org. Hail to the best teacher on the internet, Sabatuhudi Amahotep Ra. We're going to end it as we do with our beautiful affirmation. Thank you for joining us. From tonight's teachings, from page 173 of the Per M Heru, Nuke Ra Per M Nu Ba Pu Netter, Kimnan Ha F, Batu F Isfet and Ma'ah, Di Su, M Ka, M Ma'at, Unk, M Nuke Hu. I am Ra, coming forth from Nu, the soul that is divine, the creator of his members. Admonition to me is sin. Not do I look upon it. Not do I cry against right and truth. I live in it. I am who. From page 181 of the Per M Heru. I have not made my nest on the borders of the sky. I come down to the earth of Seb. I destroy my defects. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Unki in Ma'at. Un in S. Nintet or set in Ma'at. Men hepapet in Ma'at. Her in Hu Kui. Per E Kut. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light.
My eyes, then I woke up back in my bed. I could see my room as clear as looking through a lens. See, I thought I was awake, so then I tried to move, but my body shocked me like I was plugged in a socket. I started panicking and scrambling within my mental. I thought I died and now my body I'm forever locked in. I was screaming, help me, someone help me please. But there wasn't any sound making it through my teeth. I could see movement in motion, shadows gather around me. How could I close my eyes already closed? Eating alkaline at this time, fasting reads so shocking. I was stuck in a paralysis, Frit had me froze. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. I finally started waking up and coming back. I was in the opposite of state's effect. That's relaxed, I grabbed my phone and started to do research. Knowledge of what happened, I was in a lack. Insidious, the movie came direct to mind. Every time I've seen this, it was connected to what's not divine. Demons crawling forcefully, holding the body down. Ain't no point in trying to scream, you will not make a sound. Deep within I knew I made that a reality. The all is mine, I saw it and so shall it be. I start replacing fear with knowing universe is mental. Talking to my subconscious to wake me up in dreams. Then one day my spirit guides came in so essential. Daylight's astral playing loud in my dream helped to set me free. I'm back in paralysis laying on my couch. But this time I was calm, ready to exit out. It's time to shed. it's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. From what I read, I need to move my arms in front of me. See a rope and pull it, separate and then release. Now I'm out, I see my house is gleaming, I accept it. Looking in the mirror, staring at my car's reflection. I was so ecstatic, flying in every direction. This was months of subconscious reprogramming and redirection. Place my thoughts in my body, wake up, that's what I did. I was reborn from that day so I could start to live. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed.
But I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.